buy your new Ford, if you want to save some money, you got a little bit of negative equity, we can help you with that right now at Harry Robinson Salisol Ford.
All right, I got to ask about this goal. You got a goal right here by the front door. What's the deal with it?
Man, all you have to do, go on a test drive, you get a shot. We got 3 different spots, 50, 100, and up to $500. All you have to do, make a shot on the basketball goal and win some money.
Markdown Madness, Harry Robinson, Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny skies, a slim chance of a shower across the north early. Our highs will be into the lower 80s. Tonight, expecting a partly to mostly cloudy sky. Overnight lows will drop down into the upper 50s. We could see a few isolated showers on Friday. Highs on Friday afternoon into the low 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today. You're listening to The Morning Rush on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
I'm Harry everywhere else, except my face.
Here's Jones on a keeper. Out over the 40 to midfield. Matt Jones may take it to the house. And the dunk.
3-2 pitch. He struck him out. Got him looking. Hagen Smith has tied the school record with 17 strikeouts, but he's done it in 6 dominating innings. Peyton Holt in center field makes the catch. Runners don't try to score. Donay's coming home. He throws to third. Sprague-Lott fires to the plate. They got him.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Phil Elson, I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. Arkansas baseball will be arriving later on tonight. They got a series with Vanderbilt tomorrow. Matt Jones and Christian Johnston are in our studios, the ESPN Arkansas headquarters, and I feel like Matt, we need to stage an intervention with our man C. McMahon back there. I just said a very simple thing. Good morning to him when I dialed in today on our equipment, and he said he's ready for the game already. It's like, not now. You need to preserve yourself somehow. Tip-off isn't until 9:15. C bracket unit movie, McMahon. You can't be ready for a ball game that starts in like half a day, so it's got to be a slow build.
Champing at the bit.
He certainly is. It's like I don't know what we can do to try to calm our good friend down. He obviously sounds so incredibly excited about it. He can't, the steam's coming out of his ears. Matt, you know what it's like to have a night game. How do you handle a thing like this?
It's good to be here with you on this game day. I like playing at noon, 1, 2 o'clock, 3, 4 at the latest. When you got to sit around all day. You're a creature of habit, and a lot of times your day gets started at 6:30 in the morning. At that time, 7 o'clock in the morning. So you're getting started, and then you got to wait all the way. I'm pretty decent about taking a nap. Like I could fall asleep anywhere. Just like throughout. Just go. So you could always take a nap. I was pretty good with that, but it really is. You're just kind of sitting around waiting. So you try to find ways to keep yourself busy. If you go through walkthroughs, you'll take a couple tests like reading the scouting report and then have a couple question and answers and watch a little film and you try to stay off your feet.
I guess what would be a little after 6 o'clock Pacific time when the game tips off, if it's 9:15 our time,
Man, that's
or
a
maybe
late
7:50. That's still kind of late, even if you're on the road with the guys. But for everybody here in Arkansas, it'll be a much longer night. Yeah, see, you just gotta find a way to keep your energy
Get on the PlayStation. What's your
There you go.
PlayStation's name? Nelson? You got it? Does it have a name? No.
His? I don't have one.
Well, yeah, but Unit does. You got to have the PlayStation has to have a name. But go get a couple games at a PlayStation.
All right. Well, I mean, hey, look. Once it comes time for tip-off, even if you've been up all day long, if you haven't found a way to get in your nap, if whatever it is, it's not like you're going to have to worry about finding a way to have energy. This will be one of those games that you're going to be standing in front of the television watching it, or if you're at
you'll be catching the first bus over, right? Like usually there's 2 buses that go over. I guess maybe there's one, but you'll be catching that you'll be ready to go. It's like the first one. Let's go.
I love how you put it there, Matt. They don't do the 2 buses in college sports. They do the 2 buses in pro sports. They do that in the NFL, where you had 2 buses to get to the stadium?
Absolutely, from the hotel, yeah. Depending on what you're playing, what's going on, how do you like it, and they're really just about 30, 40 minutes apart. It's not like they're that, but a lot of times that first bus would be overcrowded.
We did the 2 buses in with every team I worked for in minor league baseball, and it was understood. The idea was, all right, the early bus will go sometimes 4.5 or 5 hours before first pitch. It's for guys that need treatment with the trainer and extra batting practice, extra infield, and then usually the starting pitcher is going to be one of the guys that's going on the late bus. But sometimes it was also understood, if you're not early, you're late. If you get my drift, yeah. College sports, I've never seen an early bus or a late bus, though. With Arkansas men's basketball, they do travel in a way that's much more like a professional sports, like an NBA franchise. Anyway,
kids still play cards these days. You have the.
I don't know.
We used to play a game called Tonk. We'd play a game called Killer that was like a Laotian game. So it's 3 people, 4 people can play. So you kind of past 2 hours playing cards and stuff.
Yeah, you would see them sitting around in the hotel lobby, just kind of
hanging out. Yeah,
continuing the game that started back in March and is still going on in August. It's just basically keeping a running tally. Well, I'll find a way to be fired up because we got tickets to go see the Predators and the Blues downtown here in Nashville tonight. It'll be my kid's first ever NHL game, so we'll head down there at 6 o'clock, and then it's good I got a new iPhone because now it's got all the battery power on Earth, and I'll be able to watch as much as I need to. Not courtside, ice side, rink side. It'll be a little interesting to do it. Man, you got to feel good about this one today because I can't ever look at it in the idea like you're playing with house money if you've gotten this far. Nobody wants their season to end right now because you can't help. If you're one of the final 16 teams, I know I'd put it out there like on Monday, but if you're a Sweet 16 team, you got to be taken seriously. You're legitimately a Final Four contender. Any of these teams is a Final Four contender. Now, sometimes you look at the Cinderella that breaks through. And when I look at Cinderella, I'm talking about a different kind of athlete. There are no Cinderellas in this tournament right now. There are none left.
You're talking about Katie Burns, the kid from NC State. NC State last year was a Cinderella.
I can see that. It's just when you come from a power conference, you have a little difficult time viewing it from that sense. But I think more so when you're
there's professional NBA basketball players on this team. There wasn't on NC State's team. Yeah.
Yeah, and you got a coach that hasn't been an underdog since whenever. I mean, it's all the stories that we've gotten to already here. It's now it's about getting on the court. Now it's about how can you slow down the Texas Tech 3-point shooters? How can you find a way to maybe take JT Toppin out of the game? Now it's about, hey, you got to hit some shots from the outside. It can't be a 2 for 19 performance. It can't be a 15% performance from the outside. I just figure it's going to be a lot more difficult to take Texas Tech out of their game the way that Arkansas took Kansas and St. John's out of their games too. But we've already seen it happen in front of us twice. I can't help but believe from watching Arkansas in these 2 games, Matt, I feel like in my eyes they should be the favorite. I know I think within the state of Arkansas, maybe not to the professional gamblers because the betting line is still, when I looked at it last night, it was the same inside on BetSaracen it was as it is outside the state, which was surprising to me because it felt like, within the state of Arkansas, you got a lot more people that view the Razorbacks as maybe the favorite in this ball game. But there it is. still a 5.5 point underdog. So that tells me the professional bettors are still viewing it from, from that perspective, not the fandom perspective. But they've been so good at slowing down the opponent's best team, the best player, and I can't imagine that you can't at least find a way to slow down Toppin again. That's what this team's done best, Matt.
Texas Tech's going to shoot the ball better, or at least on paper when you're looking at, their last 5, whatever their trends are compared to St. John's. And so I think, all things being equal, if you can win points in the paint, our length to help keep, offensive rebounding. When you shoot long shots, a lot of times you get long rebounds when you miss. So the ball's not necessarily going to come right around the rim. So you got to be the first to react. And then when it comes to 3-point shooting, we're due. That's all I can say. We're due to have a game where we go 8 of 20 or something.
Yeah.
And 20 might be too many threes, but like we got to make at least half. Whatever 3-pointers Texas Tech makes, if we want to win this game, we got to at least keep up with them a little bit.
That sounds about right. 6, 7 of them. It can't be
But be efficient. Not off 27 3-point shots making 7. Off 17 shots, off of 19 shots making 7.
And who knows if Adu's going to play or not. I know that he didn't take part in the practice yesterday.
He won't
because
play then.
The knee was sore from a workout the day before, so that does make you wonder. It's like if he can't practice the day before the game, if it's too sore the day before the game, how much are you really going to get from him
Willis
anyway?
Reed moment, you dress him out if he wants to dress out, but you're not putting him in unless you're down to your last foul, and he that would be it. If he's hurt, you can't hurt the kid.
And Texas Tech is still dealing with whether or not Chance McMillan, who sat for the first 2 games of the tournament, whether or not he will play, and he's their 3-point ace. So they've got 4 or 5 other guys that can shoot from the outside too. It's a really great matchup. And hey, you've already seen one really good game in the Sweet 16 between these 2 programs a few years ago. You saw a fairly entertaining Liberty Bowl, about 3 months ago.
Maybe they'll play defense like Texas Tech's defense was at the Liberty Bowl, because that was very lacking. If they play, who's going to score more points? Can Arkansas score as many points against Tech tonight as we did in the Liberty Bowl?
I wouldn't have even put it in the. You absolutely nailed it, though. That's true. If you were to think about that, and I forget what the final.
It was
score
like
of that game
71 to 68 or something. It was a shootout.
They scored. It was 39-20. So they'll score more than 39.
All right. I thought the way that guy jumped in the transfer portal, he had 7 touchdowns.
Now, if you were talk about the Kansas Liberty Bowl from 3 years ago,
there you go.
Yeah, that was the one where it's like, all right, it's like a race to 50, a low-scoring basketball.
Good omen. We play Kansas in the Liberty Bowl. We whoop them on the basketball court. Texas Tech's up next.
Absolutely. Maybe at some point we'll see East Carolina in an NCAA tournament too. Here's what we'll see on halftime for this Thursday, taking you up until game day today, until game times. A long time until you get there too, because it's an 8:30 p.m. Learfield pregame show. That'll be right in the middle of, as I'm assuming, ESPN programming after Ruskin and Zach are finished, and we'll take you up till 2 o'clock when they start their show. So halftime will be Brett Dolan 1:15. Bubba Carpenter for Batter Up with Bubba in about an hour from now, and Dudley Dawson in just a moment. Our coverage in San Francisco is provided by Mock Legal Solutions in Fort Smith. Don't go into a divorce or custody battle alone. Hire Mock Legal, and they'll root out the Red Raiders in the courtroom. Mock Legal offers low flat fees and payment plans. You will always know what you owe. 479-769-1505 for Mock Legal Solutions. You can also fill out a free consultation form at mocklegalsolutions.com. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price, and Hogville's Dudley Dawson, speaking of reasonable, will join us next.
We're live in San Francisco this week at the NCAA Tournament. Our coverage is presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback. Sweet 16 gear available now. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price. By Big Cypress Lodge. Visit big-cypress.com to plan your next Memphis getaway. By Ward & Son Plumbing in Northwest Arkansas, serving all your plumbing needs. No marketing shenanigans, fair pricing with the warranty above and beyond the competition throughout Arkansas.
Arkansas is headed to the Sweet 16.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to the NHL and UFC, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Fan. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Le dije, vamos a hacer maldades. Vuelvo yo te traje. Pago ya el mahones si no baila pa' que sale. Aquí están mis anormales. Que cabrón, tú mueves ese nalga. Esto es pa' la nena nueva, pa' los nenes, pa' la
It's back, the Ultimate Challenge at Lewis Automotive, and it's bigger than ever. We're on a mission to sell 555 vehicles in the month of March, no matter what it takes. We've got more than 1,000 vehicles to choose from, more than $2 million in discounts, and we're not holding anything back. All month long, get up to $20,000 off MSRP or 0% financing on select models.
Payments start at $199 a month.
Find the ultimate selection, the ultimate discounts, the ultimate financing, and the ultimate amount for your trade.
Only at the Lewis Automotive Group's Ultimate Challenge.
Thanks for what?
Incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Diamond blue, baby, New York City. Never was there a girl so pretty. Do you think we'll be in love forever? Do you think we'll be in love? Diamond blue, baby, New York City. Can we get it now, love down and gritty? Do you think we'll be in love forever? Do you think we'll be in love?
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Hogville's Dudley Dawson joining us here on a game day, which also is Major League Baseball's. Matt, I guess this will be the hard Major League opening since the Dodgers and Cubs did the soft thing.
Just get make sure the software and the hardware is wired right. Kind of get some of the bugs out. That's all they were doing earlier.
No plasticware at the hard opening today. Dudley Dawson, how you doing today? Happy game day.
Of course I'm doing great. The only thing I've loved longer than my wife is baseball, and that's only because I found out about it first. And I just think it's a great day every day. Now, I am a little pissed about one thing. That starting at 11 a.m. in Cincinnati was the way we used to do this thing. Have that first game there every day. And now the first game ain't coming on until 2:07.
Well, the first game happened in Japan. The first two games happened in Japan. So I mean that tells.
Sure, I heard that rumor. I know they counted, but
we're talking about a game that says it's got trouble marketing to fans in the country here in the United States, and so they open in Japan. So go figure, right? We got other things to hit on with the Sweet 16 basketball. Give me your view on this game. Should Arkansas? You view Arkansas as a favorite here? What do you think?
No, I have Texas Tech as a favorite, and that's because they've been consistent all year, 27-8. They've got a legitimate, I think, team that can, obviously just a couple steps away to get to the Final Four. I think they've had a tremendous program over the years. So I think, while Arkansas may be the hottest team in the tournament, I think Texas Tech is probably the favorite. That's what the bookies and all those people say as well. But that being said, would I bet this game? Absolutely not, because this roll from 0-5 in conference play to being one of the Sweet 16 teams has been a wild ride that you certainly couldn't have got any great bets on back then.
Dudley, when I'm looking at this bracket that's left, give me a number one seed that you think it should be on upset alert, or do you have all 4 1 seeds winning?
Oh, I think probably the number one seed that should be on upset alert is Duke. I think Arizona's playing really well. Auburn, too. I mean, I could see them all going down, but I'm still riding with Auburn, Duke, Florida, and Houston until it's over with.
What do you make of Ole Miss's chance?
That looks like it's going to be a heavyweight fight, huh? Like they're
if you're to look at the teams that are left, if we're talking athletes, where would you stick Ole Miss? And then when we're talking about disciplined teams, well coached, stick to the plan, where would you put Ole Miss? I mean, that's just a team that I can't quite figure out. I just know that they play really well for Chris Beard.
Yeah, and obviously Iowa State has been in the forefront of the teams from the start. They've had a few injuries along the way, but they're one of those teams that also plays a style that is hard to fight against, and get your points. But Ole Miss can certainly put them up, as we know. I think Ole Miss has got a really good shot there. I want to believe in Iowa State because they've been so detailed and so successful over the years, but there's something about them that just doesn't get me there.
Dudley, we do talk a little NBA when you're on with us. Did you see King James the speech with McAfee, and did you learn anything from it? Did your opinion change on him? What were your kind of takeaways from watching that?
Now I am not the biggest LeBron James personal fan in the world. It goes way back to when he was in the 8th grade. I'll tell you that story later. But I mean, I think he's a tremendous basketball player. But I am tired of him and tired of Stephen A. Smith, just whining about this. Y'all keep that. We didn't need to see it. Y'all keep it to yourselves. And those are two polarizing figures. One who has done tremendous things in the game of basketball, as I said, number 2 for me, and one that has done tremendous things in the entertainment industry, whether you like the way he does it or not, the sports entertainment industry. But I'm just tired of him. I mean, this is a blow up over nothing to me. So,
but it's so weird when I didn't see what LeBron. I read a little bit about it, but this is on a Pat McAfee show, and I know he's not. I don't think this show is really a production of ESPN. They just license it. But he's putting, if you look, who's ESPN's top 2 personalities now? It's Stephen A.
For
Smith
NBA, yeah,
and Pat McAfee. I mean, just overall,
yeah.
It's those two. And McAfee can get away with anything. You remember, I mean, he's had top line ESPN executives basically quit because he's blasted them on the show, and nobody at ESPN's done anything about it. And now Stephen A. Smith is next. It's just not McAfee's not the one who's blasting him here.
Yeah, and he brings on Aaron Rodgers all the time. He's one of these guys who's taken a niche and ran with it. But yeah, somebody at ESPN's got to yell out here sooner or later and say, either we're all going to be on the same board or we're just going to act like we don't care, which is kind of what you see. It seems like now you don't send. We wouldn't send somebody on the radio broadcast before Razorback basketball, baseball games to trash Dave Van Horn and Calipari, but that's kind of what they're doing at ESPN. But something down deep in me thinks they kind of like it.
Yeah, he was attacking Wemby too, which I thought, or Wendy, Brian Windhorst, which was weird as well. But he's never heard the word no. You think about it, he has put in a lot of hard work, and I don't know. I just think he lives in a different. I think he lives in a different world,
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and tell you the story why I didn't like him to start off with. When he was in 8th grade, I was at the Nike All-American basketball tournament. He was going into the 9th grade. He was in 8th grade at the time. He already had an entourage around. I'm sitting up in the stands covering the tournament, watching prospect starts. I was looking at, and he turns to me and he says, "If you're not doing anything, can you get me a soda?" Been done with him since then.
Whoa.
Been done with him since then. And people tell me that's petty, and I said, "Well, that's who I am."
Too much ice, Dudley. Too much ice.
Yeah.
Hey, let me. That's a neat story. Let me ask you about another game that's going on. 2 SEC teams. Phil and I have Tennessee over Kentucky, and I don't know why. Kentucky's beat Tennessee twice this year, but for some reason in the tournament when it matters, I got the Vols. Who wins that one?
I'm going with Tennessee as well. Have in my bracket. That's the way I've got it in my brackets, and that's the way I feel today sitting here. I'm just a big Zeke Ziegler fan. I think he gets the things done you have to get done in the biggest moments, and certainly short in stature, but big when he's out there on the court. And I've got Tennessee moving on, but man, I'm not too confident in that, I guess.
All right, how do you think, and why do you think Arkansas was able to take Dickinson and Lewis out of the game as much as they did? And can they do that to JT Toppin? Because I think it's amazing the way that they've done that in the first 2 rounds.
I think that the biggest reason they've been able to do that is that the 2 guys that you thought, or 2 inside guys you thought would be really good at the start of the year, would be really versatile both on offense and defense, are doing that now. Jonas Adu and Trevon Brazile, they give you 2 guys in there to help defend and to cause mismatches down on the other end on offense. So I think that's the biggest reason they've been able to do that. Certainly Brazile was getting a lot of grief there early on, but he's playing well now, and I think if Arkansas wins tonight, those will be the 2 reasons. Those will be the 2 biggest reasons, because those guys have brought it. Now, not everything has been perfect for them, but those guys have brought it, and they're going to get whether they get 10 minutes from Duke Hero tonight, they get 5 fouls. That's all I know.
We had Coach Kelsey Music on the show Tuesday morning. Enjoyed our conversation with her. Really energetic. I'm excited to experience her style of play. It sounds like could be a bit of 40 minutes of hell on both ends. And on the flip side of it, I have a WNBA team that I'm now going to be a big fan of, the LA Sparks.
Yeah, I spoke to Coach Neighbors yesterday about how I'm sure his kids will think Fayetteville and LA are, just the same. But I'm a big fan of Coach Music so far. I'm thinking about learning the dribble drive myself. Excited about an offense that probably will score 80 points a game. And obviously she's got a large mountain to climb in the SEC. I asked some pointed questions of Hunter Yurchek the other day about putting money into the program and it being important enough to do. We'll see how that plays itself out. He seemed to indicate that they would be putting more money into the program, just maybe not as much as the very top great coaches to play. And if you're going to have this women's basketball program move up, you're going to have to act like you care.
Yeah, I was looking on the public website that the NCAA has about, and it's projections by the NCAA, basically educated guesses as to what the percentages for 6 SEC schools are going to be paying per sport to athletes. And Arkansas had 73% to football, 20% to men's basketball, 5.7% to baseball, women's basketball getting 0.4%, which the math would come out to about $82,000. So, and these are guesses. These are estimates. I don't know if they're actual facts, but it is on the NCAA website.
Hey, April 7th is one of the biggest days of the year for college sports when they go back into court and the judge actually rules something. Will he push it on down the line, or will they get something done and this be instituted? Because if it's going to work out for next year, if you're going to be able to use this stuff for next year, they're going to have to get it done in the next couple of months, or you'll just have to push it into the next calendar.
They don't get it done. If they don't get it done in the next couple of months, then the whole thing is going to implode because they've been building towards that whole settlement. So
April 7th, man. April 7th.
Absolutely has to happen. Dudley, appreciate you coming on. I know we'll be reading in Hogville. Thanks a lot.
You bet.
Dudley Dawson with us every Thursday here on Halftime. Can open up our Lewis Automotive Group hotline at 877-377-6963. Our Sweet 16 coverage presented by Ward & Son Plumbing in Northwest Arkansas. They serve all your plumbing needs with no marketing shenanigans. Fair pricing, a warranty going above and beyond the competition throughout Arkansas. Daniel, Noah, and the team at Ward & Son Plumbing service commercial, residential, new construction, additions, remodeling, and repairs. Their number is 479-312-9731. Now stay with Halftime. We'll be back after the break.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, the ultimate challenge is back with the ultimate selection, ultimate savings, ultimate financing, and the ultimate amount for your trade.
Spring camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th at 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rogers, just behind Newt's. Sponsored by 2 of the state's largest RV dealers, Wheels RV and Moix RV. With brands you love like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina, Vibe, and Winnebago, and on-site financing available. There will be a variety of vendors and bounce house for the kids and so much more. So make plans now to attend the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th, 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway, Rogers.
Something amazing is happening in data management. Even though storage needs are constantly changing, companies are only paying for what they need now. That's because CDW customized a Pure Storage Evergreen One SLA-driven storage as a service solution that delivers enterprise-grade hybrid cloud storage that is effortless, efficient, and evergreen. Simplify storage administration with Pure Storage at CDW. Make amazing happen. Find out more at cdw.com/purestorage.
Fun storming the castle.
This is Halftime.
Up to $10,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off. Or lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer EV. With hands-free driving assistance, go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds for as low as $800 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
I want to ride my
Looking for a new ride or need a tune-up? Champion Cycling in Fort Smith has you covered. From top-of-the-line bikes like Specialized and Surly to expert repairs, apparel, and accessories, we've got everything you need to hit the trails. Stop by 5500 Mathard Road during business hours or shop anytime online at championcycling.com. Champion Cycling, helping you share in the joy of cycling.
The Solid Rock has been locally owned for over 46 years. When was the last time you were there? So much more than a bookstore. They have Christian t-shirts, church supplies, Bible studies, devotionals, home decor, gifts, and of course, a large selection of Bibles. And Bibles are engraved free of charge while you wait. Now, you can get custom laser engraving on select gift items and some Bibles. Located next to Sam's Club on South 74th, The Solid Rock is your source for faith-based books, music, clothing, and more. The Solid Rock, 452-4844.
Bounce on into Crabtree RV Center in Alma, Arkansas for the best deals on new and pre-owned RVs. Whether you're looking for a motorhome, travel trailer, fifth wheel, or toy hauler, we have them all here at Crabtree. So avoid the madness of crowded cities and hotels this summer by taking your family team on the open road with the perfect RV from Crabtree RV Center. Conveniently located at the junction of I-40 and I-49, family owned and operated since 1950. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Forest Grid Incorporated, a company known for paying top wages and benefits, has immediate openings for equipment operators, pipe layers, concrete finishers, and laborers. For nearly 90 years, Forest Grid has built the foundations of the River Valley, and now you can become a part of that legacy. Apply now from any device at GoForestGrid.com. That's GoForestGrid.com. Do you finally want to get paid well for your work? Do you want to work for a company that treats you like family? Apply now at GoForestGrid.com. Forest Grid Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Let's have some fun. You only live but once, and when you're dead, you're done. So let the good time roll.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
I know there had to be people in his ear, in his orbit, that were saying, why would you play again? You don't have to play. He's like, I want to help my teammates. It talks, don't you want that guy on your team? That's part of being evaluated. And Adu said the same, probably had people in his orbit. Why would you play? You can't do, And all of a sudden, he's like, Coach, I want to try this.
That's John Calipari yesterday on both Boogie and Adu. And, of course, Boogie looks just fine. He's going to start hitting some outside shots. Outside of that, he's been playing better than I think anybody might have expected. Thero's a different story here, and because of a knee injury, that's something that might take a little bit longer. Chris asks, any chance they sat Thero for 15 minutes during press viewing practice and then practiced him afterwards yesterday? Doubtful.
The one thing I've known, I'm 41 years old, so I probably think I know more than what I do know. I don't know much, but you don't see basketball players and you don't see soccer players wearing knee braces when they play. Now football, you can have a knee brace, baseball, but you don't. Basketball players and soccer, you don't wear it. You can't play. It's a knee brace. You just don't see it. So you gotta hope that the kid's healthy. You don't want to injure it anymore. Has he had a scope? Has he had surgery? Is it soft tissue? Is it ligaments? I know I get that he wants to play, but if he's got a knee brace, that should be kind of your first sign.
Do you remember when Nick Smith a couple of years ago had the what was it? I think it was like knee management. I don't know if there was any surgery, but there was soreness. There was management of some kind, and he came back. And actually, he gave you something by the end of that season. Adu, I just don't. I'm not going in here expecting anything from him. I'm expecting more from Brazil. I'm expecting more from Adu. Like Jonas Adu's got to stay on the court in this game. You can't be
39
picking
minutes
up-
again like you did in game one, like
can't
30
be
plus
picking up
minutes.
quick fouls. Can't get a third foul 1 minute into the second half. Yeah, I mean, I loved in the St. John's game how the inexperienced freshmen who had not played in a tournament game were your guys, but in this one, I'd like to lean on those who played in an Elite Eight before, in Adu and also in Nellie Davis, DJ Wagner, I think, and Wagner so Adu and Wagner, these are guys that played in the tournament for Kentucky, and Adu, it's like he's been around college basketball for 3 years, but hasn't done anything in the tournament yet. Like we'd forgotten when the Hogs beat Kansas this year, Matt, that was Trevin Brazil's first game in the NCAA tournament in his 4th year. And, man, he played that game like he wanted to go out and get another one.
Well, it's we have to continue to be who we are, and what we are is 6 guys averaging 9 points a game or more in this tournament. We're a very balanced team. We're unselfish. We don't turn the ball over, meaning we don't beat ourselves a lot. We don't have to try to your point, Phil, we don't have to try to be anything we're not. Just go out there and play your game, take coaching, that we'll have a good game plan together. And go out there and try to execute, but I don't think that this team has to go out there and try to press. Or it's not like when we go if we play Florida next. Florida's better than us in every way, So that'd be a game where it's like we're gonna have to have a superhuman effort, but we're not there yet. We're playing Texas Tech. Go out there and play your game.
Here's John Calipari on Arkansas's opponent for tonight.
Texas Tech, well coached. They can beat you either inside, outside, shooting threes, posting the ball, throwing it to 15 feet, backing you down, making you make decisions. The biggest thing with Toppin, he's a great passer. So not only does you talk about scoring, when you try to do different things, he can really pass. I'll say this, there's a reason we're the underdog in this game.
Yeah, I mean, you just look, Texas Tech doesn't turn it over, Matt. They shoot the three at a high rate of success. Inside, outside, it's a multifaceted team, which, man, I'd like to think Arkansas is a multifaceted team, but offensively they've been limited by lack of shooting more than anything. I mean, you can get to the rim, you can finish around the rim, make your free throws when they get there, and for the most part that's happened. But if you're playing a team in Tech that can score at 3 levels, I feel like Arkansas is going to be able to score at 3 levels too, because you've held Kansas to 72, St. John's to 66. I just see Texas Tech is going to get into the 70s. You're going to have to get into the high 70s today. Heck, this game gets into the 80s. Be a little bit nervous about it.
Yeah, I mean, this is the best team. So if you look at Texas Tech, I would put them on par with a Tennessee, with Alabama, Auburn and Florida. Those were the 4 teams that got the double bye. I think Texas Tech is just as good as those 4 teams. I mean, this is the best team that this Arkansas, as far as most complete, well-balanced team that Arkansas has played in the tournament, probably since. What do you think? We played Auburn at home in February. We went to Lexington February 1st. You start looking at this would be the toughest team we've played.
And hey, you got Kevin Harlan on the call today on the telecast. Harlan just does such great work, whether it's on TV or on radio. And Ty Richardson caught up with him yesterday at the Chase Center. And here's Kevin. One of the things I can connect with Kevin Harlan is someone that broadcasts off the emotions, because I kind of do the same thing.
Well, I'm probably more a fan than I am a broadcaster, and I guess the fan comes out in me, and I've been around it my entire life. My dad was in pro sports, and so I had a chance to be in press boxes and on sidelines and in dugouts, and because of that exposure from the time I can remember, my earliest memory, it's just kind of part of my DNA, and I appreciate what these guys can do, both coaches and players. I love the fans and the moms and dads and the extended families that are in there cheering for their kids in these games and these tournaments. And if you can't get wrapped up in it, I think that you're missing a real important part of what makes the tournament special, but also what can make a broadcast special. if your emotions come through. I think people want to hear and listen to broadcasts that have like they're connected, like they feel it, and they exude the passion. And it's very natural for me. There's no way anybody could fake it for as long as I have. So it is truly from my heart and from my soul. And I always consider it a privilege to be a part of games like this and tournaments like this and broadcasts like this.
So you get Dan Bonner and Stan Van Gundy are the analysts, and Lauren Shahadi used to be on MLB Network as the reporter. No, there's always like accusations of bias, and I was trying to listen when I watched the St. John's replay. I'm trying to listen to myself to see if it sounded like Lapis and Catalan had any, bias towards St. John's. There might have been a little bit there. I mean, Lapis is an East Coast guy, and I think it might be a little difficult for because it was a St. John's crowd, for them not to get, maybe even without realizing it, wrapped up in it a little bit. This will be a different thing. And those guys are good. I think Lapis is fine on TV. I like Andrew Catalan, but there's really nobody that's better than. There might be some who are as good than Kevin Harlan, and it'll be as down the middle as it gets, and he'll be just as excited for a bucket by Boogie Fland or Jonas Adu as he will be for JT Toppin. That's somebody who just calls it how he sees it, and obviously is just fired up to do it. And then if like a squirrel gets on the court or something, or a snake starts slithering on the floor, or somebody comes down to try to protest by gluing their hands on the basketball court, you'll have Kevin Harlan there to give the play-by-play of it, because he is literally the best at doing animal play-by-play. I think he's called a cat scoring a touchdown in an NFL game, Matt. Nobody would have thought you'd have to do that.
Yeah, I mean, the last time that happened was when Barry Sanders scored for the Lions.
He was cat quick. That's true. He's I'm a big fan of Harlan. He's just really, really good. And here was more from Harlan on the last time he called an Arkansas game when Muss was the coach.
The coach, Musselman, man, he was crazy. I was with his dad, and I was with Eric with the Timberwolves, and remember how he tried to revitalize the program. And I think it's amazing that you've gone from him to Calipari, and you have these coaches that are so vibrant and full of such love for the game and their kids and the program and the people that support the program. But I remember that well. Moses Moody, was Moses Moody on that team?
Yes, he was.
Yeah,
Yep.
Moses was on that team. Of course, I see him now at the Golden State Warriors here in this building. And, yeah, I just remember the passion and the emotion that Coach Musselman was injecting in that team. And I actually thought they'd go further. They were littered with great talent, kind of like this team.
Brandon, the national champion that year.
Yeah, exactly. That was a little tough, wasn't it? But a lot of respect for the program, where it is right now, and what kind of began with Eric as they kind of spun things around from that point on.
Harlan, they did grow up around sports. His father was the sports information director at Marquette, then the PR director for the St. Louis Cardinals, and eventually worked over to the Green Bay Packers, where he became president and CEO and is currently chairman emeritus of the Green Bay Packers. So Kevin Harlan grew up around sports, and he'll be calling your Arkansas-Texas Tech game tonight. 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. We've got to take a quick break. We'll come back, wrap up the first hour, so stay with us.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Up to $10,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off. Or lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer EV. With hands-free driving assistance, go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds for as low as $800 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith. Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nuys work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a store card. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Shirley's Tax Service has been serving the River Valley for 49 years and has won the Times record Best of the Best 8 years running. Shirley's is in the top 2% of independent tax offices nationwide. Shirley's takes pride in providing superior service at a price a working person can afford. Shirley's has 6 locations, now open in Ozark. So if you're looking for the best, fast, friendly, professional service in town at a price a working person can afford, call Shirley's Tax Service today, 922-1040. That's 922-1040.
Need a little extra cash? Go see Rusty at Golden Gym Pond, 310 West Center in Greenwood. Get the money you need with loans on jewelry, guns, tools, and electronics. If you're looking for a gift, they have a large selection of jewelry to choose from, and Rusty can take care of all jewelry repair. Stop by Golden Gym Pond today, 310 West Center in Greenwood, or call 996-2792. Open 9 to 5:30 Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and 9 to 3 on Wednesday. Golden Gym Pond.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Hey everyone, Braden Webb here at AAA Business Systems in Northwest Arkansas. You may remember me from my days playing baseball for the Hogs. Now I'm hitting home runs for AAA Business Systems and enhancing the ways company do business in our area. If you want to partner with the best office technology provider in Northwest Arkansas, call me today at 479-442-4185. Let's win together, and remember, anything else is just a copy.
Designed by Jason Christie, the Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait doesn't just bring the fight, it dominates. Choose from 3 blade options: Colorado for maximum thump, Willow for bright flash, and the one the pros won't talk about, the Oklahoma blade. Perfectly balanced for subtle vibration, multiple flash points, and unmatched versatility. The Oklahoma blade is your secret weapon for pressured waters. Precision engineering, tournament proven, and one mission: dominate. Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait, here for one thing.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, the ultimate challenge is back with the ultimate selection, ultimate savings, ultimate financing, and the ultimate amount for your trade.
Town. By chance you crossed the diamond with the pearl. You turned it on the world. You turned the world around. Jesus, did you realize you were a champion in their eyes?
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Cecil's been waiting on hold for a bit on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Good morning, Cecil. What's up? What you think about today?
Oh, good morning. Still morning. Good morning. Man, I just have a lot of faith in us winning. I don't see us losing the game. And Ciro, this is my opinion. I mean, if he's needed, he'll play. And when we beat Tech, I mean, I'm sure he'll be available for the next games on down the road. And this is my opinion on winning the game. We'll win by 9 or more points. That's just how I see it. Texas Tech really ain't played nobody like us. So, and they probably talking about how good we are too, though. I mean, that's just the American way. That's how it goes. But I just know we're gonna get in. We've been locked in the whole tournament, and we gonna do the damn thing. Excuse my French. we're gonna be all right. I'm excited. It's a late game, but I do appreciate it that way I can get all my work out the way, go take me a shower, go get those blue moons and kick back and cheer the Hogs on.
Got it all figured out, man.
Well, so you make some good points because their last bad loss would have been February 18th, and that would have been at TCU. And since then, they've lost to Houston by 7 in Arizona by 6. That's really all they've lost since that bad loss. They don't have a lot of bad losses on their schedule.
I don't think they are any. I mean, St. Joe's, but that's a neutral site.
Yeah, but
A&M beat them.
And just like we're talking about the Hogs, Phil, we're kind of talking about the last 10 games, because our team was totally different 20 games ago.
That's exactly right. You can't look at anything that would have happened in
the
St.
last
Joe's
5,
game
trying to read the trends, trying to see how it's going. That they've only lost to good teams.
Well, they've also won a couple. They haven't been fully healthy all year either. I mean, they only have one player that has played in every game this year. That's Kerwin Walton, and that's the guy that scored 27 for them in the win over Wilmington. When it's like that's what I meant. It's the 7 or 8 guys that have scored 20 points or more in a game, and here's a guy in Walton that started all 35 points. He's their lowest scoring regular, but he scored 27 in the tournament opener. It's like
Toppin hasn't let him in scoring yet, because if you look at how their last 5 regular season games ended, he was their leading scorer in 4 or 5, 7 in a row right there, until Overton was their leading. So, and then in the tournament, I think that's kind of it, Phil. I think you got to take him out as much as you can and make the other people beat you. I don't think you want to let Toppin get to 27. If you can keep him, because he's a walking double-double, but if you keep him around 12, 16 points, and he's probably still going to get his 10, 11. I think you got a chance to win.
877-377-6963 for the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Taking your temperature on this Sweet 16 matchup tonight. Win, lose, who's the star, and what happens after that? Lots more to get to as we continue here on halftime. We'll also move into some baseball. Batter up with Bubba Carpenter coming up in about 20 minutes. It is Major League Baseball's opening day. And has found a very interesting streak by the San Francisco Giants, who will have their 19th consecutive different starting left fielder since a guy named Barry Bonds started for them in left field. That's a weird one. We'll get into much more after the break on halftime. Stay with us.
Up to $10,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off. Or lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer EV. With hands-free driving assistance, go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds for as low as $800 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith. Take your dining to a whole new level at Blue Point Seafood and Steak Restaurant. You'll find the finest cuts of steak and the freshest seafood in an amazing atmosphere. Blue Point Seafood and Steak Restaurant is at Chaffee Crossing, across from the Arkansas Colleges of Health Education on Chad Colley Drive. When your night deserves the best, call 597-4081 for reservations or book online at Toast. Blue Point Seafood and Steak Restaurant, your destination for not only great food, but an amazing experience.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Busch Light go? In your stomach. Or head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witz Marine. On North 11th Street is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle. Also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle. 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith. 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witz Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Janmart. Janmart is always trying to save you money, and that's why they partner with Valero. Hook up your checking account to the Valero Pay Plus app, and you'll get 10 cents off a gallon, plus other special deals on holidays and more. Janmart and Valero, passing on the savings to you. Now available at the 3 Fort Smith Valero Janmart locations. And stop by any of the 6 Janmart locations in the area. Janmart, the leading gas station and convenience store in the region.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny skies, a slim chance of a shower across the north early. Our highs will be into the lower 80s. Tonight, expecting a partly to mostly cloudy sky. Overnight lows will drop down into the upper 50s. We could see a few isolated showers on Friday. Highs on Friday afternoon into the low 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today.
You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
Tommy's right on this one. Do you feel, let me ask you this.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hit.line.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you. Man, if I'm all right. What can't they dominate? And we not doing it. We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head.
The angles were so bad we showed them at halftime.
What name of one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Ten minutes ago, Arkansas men's basketball social media released a video of some new drip that they have been gifted by Devin Booker. Played 1 year for Cal at Kentucky. SEC Sixth Man of the Year. He's now, of course, with the Phoenix Suns, and he has gifted every Razorback player, it looks like a hoodie and a pair of shoes off his own label. Book 1LX. Who on the team you think wears a size 17, Matt?
Ooh, maybe Big Z's. He got a 17.
Sounds right. It'd be the biggest shoe on the team, right?
Him or him or 9, yeah. I bet Brazil. You know, I'm a 15, 6'6", 15, so you got to think those. They might even have a couple guys where it's bigger than a 17.
Yeah, maybe that's an Adu. I don't know. But
Ahmad Carroll. You remember Ahmad Carroll, Batman from Atlanta? I mean, track guy. He was a 6'1" cornerback. He wore a size 15 shoe. He was 6'1", yeah.
Goodness gracious, and he could actually move like that with those giant feet. But isn't that interesting, though? I mean, that goes to show you there's another one of Cal's guys that's doing a solid for Cal's current guys. I don't know if he's buying Kentucky's players the same thing, but watch the Kentucky fans go up in arms all about that, of course. 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Let's go to Kevin and Rogers. Hey, Kevin, thanks for calling. How you doing?
Hey, guys. I missed you for a couple of days, but let's talk about this game. How's everybody doing? Matt, you doing well? Phil?
Yo.
Doing well?
Yeah, man,
let's talk about this. I've heard some. Yeah, and Phil, I hardly ever disagree with you, but I am going to disagree with I've heard some callers. I mean, don't get full. Let's be. Matt said this early in the week when I did listen. This is the best team we will have played so far in the tournament. Don't kid yourself. I mean, look at their rankings. They're 7th in the net. They should have been the 2 seed. The only reason they weren't, they didn't win their conference. And a caller calling saying they hadn't played anybody? Are you kidding? They went to Houston and beat Houston. That's a national title caliber team they beat, the number 1 seed. So
I think
when
the
I hear
caller
stuff
just
like
meant
that,
the tournament. I think the caller just meant the 2 teams that they played in the tournament in March Madness.
oh, okay. Well, then I understand that. But when you say that they hadn't met a team like us, come on, they have played competition and talent equivalent to what we have. And I'm a diehard Hog, but I'm also a realist. I don't want if something bad happens tonight and we don't advance to everybody to be upset again. I mean, we have to be realistic about this. Can we beat Texas Tech? Absolutely. But I agree with Matt and you. They're going to have to shoot the ball better. And typically when we have 4 or 5 days to prepare, if you look at our shooting, just like Kansas, we made 6 or 7 threes. That's what you're going to have to do tonight. If they make 6 or 7, they're in good shape. I think the big guys will play well. It's going to be a great game. But I just don't want us to fall into the, hey, it's Texas Tech. They've been a pretty solid program for a while because of Chris Beard, but they're loaded and they shoot the ball well. I mean, and, the Big 12 usually historically over the last few years has been the best conference and gotten the most teams. This year we took care of that, but they are the second best conference. So I just don't want everybody just to think, hey, we're going to go in there and we may beat them by 9 or 10 points, but they may beat us by 20. Let's not think that couldn't happen. I mean, you have an off shooting night, you get in foul trouble, and, they shot 46 threes in their first game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and they didn't make 50% of them, but they still made. That's kind of Alabama from a few years ago. They'll shoot 30 to 40, but they make 12 or 13, and you only make 4. That's a difference in a ball game.
Well,
You're not going to win those ball games.
And how many of those offensive rebounds do they get? Because you talk about shooting 40 3-pointers. Those are longer rebounds, and they can lead to other things. So we got to rebound extremely well.
That's right. The guards will have to rebound. And, we have gotten better over the last, month with our 3-point shooting or 3-point defense. I will say, as much as I love, especially the freshmen with their energy, and I've been a big Carter Knox guy, he's going to have to close out on the 3-point shooter better. He has struggled with that this year. If you look at a lot of the guys that have gotten hot against us, they are his guy. And so Carter needs to, and he's done better. I'm like you, Matt. I've played the game, been around it for a long time. And so, those are the things I see. But make no mistake, Tech deserves to be that 5-point favorite. I mean, if you're talking about we're not no Cinderella. I mean, I called earlier on the other show a few days ago, and we are not a Cinderella. We're from a Power 5 conference. We're based on a 10 seed basically off of our net ranking. We were 40th in the net. Do the math. 10 seed. That's the way it is. I mean, we could have easily been a 4 or 5 if we'd have won a couple of those close games, but we didn't. So I don't want people thinking that we're a Cinderella. I would agree with you, Matt, especially the NC State thing last year. No one saw that coming. I mean, the talent is not even close to what we have. So people don't think, the running that we're a Cinderella, ESPN, all these guys, the Cinderella run. I mean, this isn't a Cinderella. These are 5-star kids. We got 2 guys on the team that played in the Elite 8 and a Final 4. So, yeah. Sorry for ranting a little bit. I just want us to be realistic about this game. You all are right. They're going to have to do certain things, but we're more than capable of winning this game.
Absolutely. Kevin, appreciate the phone call, and look, I appreciate the idea of the athletes on the floor for Texas Tech, but if we're talking about an Arkansas team that's talented enough to be a 3 or a 4 seed, but wasn't winning enough games, back in January and February to do that. But now they're playing up to that level and beating teams that are already in this tournament. Like, if you have that talent level, but you weren't winning games 2 months ago, but now you are winning those games, and everybody's back to being healthy, it's like I'm talking through the idea of why, in my mind, I feel like Arkansas can be a favorite in this game. Like, why I feel like they should win. Not like if you lose, like it's some big disappointment, the season's over, and this didn't mean anything. I don't think anybody's there. I mean, I think you're at a point where, I mean, I don't know if I could say it's house money, because you always want the next level, the next round. But this has been, if we were to try to transport ourselves 2 months ago to where you are right now, it's a successful season. Let's talk with Charlie, and then we'll break in a little bit. Hey, Charlie, what's going on? How are you?
I am great. Yeah, I get exactly where that last caller was coming from, man. I think, at this time of the year, you go into any of these games, man. I mean, look, everybody's good. I mean, this is the Sweet 16 year. Everybody's here for a reason. I know Texas Tech, the first two games, didn't necessarily play the caliber of teams that we played per se, but look, what they've done this year, you cannot take that away from them. I mean, they're a great basketball team. So, absolutely. Look, Phil, I'm with you. I think if you looked at it a little bit more realistically, I'd probably go like, if I was looking at it, I'd probably say Texas Tech should be the favorite 2.5. But it is what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, the game's got to be played, and we'll see what happens. I think the main thing is, as I talked about yesterday, he makes a good point. These guys have got to make sure when they close out. And Matt, I know Coach Richardson his closeout drills are probably not fun. He probably made y'all hold a brick over y'all's head or whatever. I don't know what all he made y'all do. Ain't no telling. But get your butt down, get your hand up, and get ready to move your feet. But I mean, you got to get out there with this team. I think what was the kid for Kansas that was hurting us from the 3-point line? We can't have a situation where we have two guys on their team do that to us, or we're going home. It's just as simple as that. I think we will have to shoot the ball a little bit better, but at the end of the day, we don't need to be sitting here trying to fall in love with the three either, because it's not our game. Try to push the ball in transition. The main thing, you guys make a good point. Long rebounds, right? If the team shoots more threes, well, the ball is going to, the rebounds are going to be longer. Everybody's got a gang rebound in this ball game. If there's multiple guys with 3, 4, 5 rebounds for us, then we'll be fine. But there may not be a guy with 10 because of the way, the shots that are taken by them. So the main thing, you got a gang rebound, because I don't know how many times it happens, guys, but when the team gets a rebound, an offensive rebound, and kicks it out, I swear that the percentage of them making that next shot is pretty high. So we got to be locked in on that and getting those tonight. To me, that's like the key in the game. I think it's the 3-point line. I really do. I think that's the key to this game. I think we'll take care of the ball. I think we're more athletic, but we can't let this team beat us from the 3-point line, or we're going home. It's as simple as that. Y'all have a good one.
Charlie, thanks very much. You remember looking back on Muss's teams that went to the Sweet 16. Every team that knocked them out of the tournament. I remember going into that game and thinking, man, I just don't know if they can pull it off. Baylor 2022 or 21, Kansas, or not Kansas. It was who was the year before losing in the Elite Eight? It was UConn. It was UConn, and then the Sweet 16 to Duke. You lost to Duke in the Elite Eight. You lost to UConn in the Sweet 16. And it's like going into all of those games, man, thinking, they played really well up to this point. I'm just not sure. They've got to play their absolute best game in order to win, and hope that those teams don't play their best. And then each of those teams went on to win a national championship. I'm not trying to insult Texas Tech about this, but I don't think that they're 2022 Duke. I don't think they're 2021 Baylor, and I don't think they're 2023 UConn either.
Transition defense, being able to pick up ball when after coming from offense to defense, it's exactly what it sounds. Transition defense, I think that's going to be key. Tech, if they get an open look, Tech's going to fire it, and then limit we got to limit their possessions, one shot per possession. When they get down, they can't beat us on the offensive board. They end up with like 12, 14 offensive boards. It might be a long night.
Let's talk to Nelson before the break. Hi, Nelson. Thanks for calling. How are you?
Hey guys, I'm doing good. I'm excited about the game. That caller, not Charlie, but the caller before, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to him at all, but Luis Jr. had scored 630-something points. Ejiofor had scored 500 and something points this season. Guess how many Toppin scored? And he's the most scoring on Texas Tech, 530-something points.
Yeah.
The other guys have scored 400, 300. So Texas Tech is not scoring more than St. John's is as far as scorers. Now they have different guys that score, and the ones we need to worry about is Toppin, William, and if he plays, McMillian. If we can stop those guys, and I believe this 100%, do not jump at a three-point shooter. Close out hard. Stay down. If you're going to jump straight up. Don't jump toward them because you're going to get the foul call on you. And that's been a big problem with us. That happened with Oklahoma. That happened with a couple other teams where we were jumping at them and getting the foul call. And then when they were shooting free throws, and it hurt us this year. So close out hard. Do not give them a chance to get a three-point foul. Because that's hurt us too many times this year. I believe our guys are ready. I watched the stuff with Nolan in the practice recently, and I think they're taking that to heart. I love what Cal's telling them, hey, this game is the game that matters. Don't worry about who's going to be next because they might get knocked out. If you spend your time working on the next team, that team might get knocked out. So just worry about this team. I feel good. The vibes are good. And, guys, thanks for all you do. Go.
Thank you, Nelson. Good to hear from you. Last call we'll take. Cody's in Bentonville. Cody, been a while. How you doing?
Yeah, guys. Hey, it's good to talk to y'all, and I hope y'all have been well.
Been really good.
Good, man. I enjoy. Hey, you and Bubba have mastered how to call a baseball game. It sounds good. Hey,
appreciate that.
I'm looking. Yeah, man. Looking back at some of these losses Tech has, I also think if we hit 80 points, I think we win the game. I don't understand why we're so scared of Tech. I was more scared of St. John's because we had an inefficiency of being physical earlier in the year. That was a bigger fear of mine. I think whatever it comes down to what we have to do to win a game, Cal is that coach. That's why he's so successful. And it may have not been recently, but there will be a plan of action, whether it's a box one or something that's completely different than what we've done. Cal will make sure that we have the right game plan. I think if we can hit 80 points, and I don't agree with we have to hit all these threes. Man, we hit 2 threes against St. John's and still scored 70 points. We're good at going to the hole downhill. Now, if they collapse into the lane like some of these teams do against us, I am going to be a little worried. We're going to have to knock them down. But I think that's where Davis comes in. And then 1 through 5, if you go back and you look, at the beginning of the year, would you have look at Texas Tech's 1 through 5, look at our 1 through 5. Who are you going to take? Because now they're playing up to that potential. So I'm ready to go. I'm stoked, man. I think we got this. Score 80 points, do your thing. I think we got it, man. But it's good to talk to y'all, and I hope you guys stay well, okay?
Cody, thank you very much. It's good to hear from you. Man, everybody's kind of coming in now that you're in the Sweet 16. 877-377-6963 to get with us. Thanks to Valley Family Dental. Used to be known as Riley Farm Dental. They're still at the very same place they've been for years. 5901 Riley Farm Drive, Suite A. That's the entrance to Riley Farm off Highway 71 in Fort Smith. Still providing every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, cosmetics, their same-day crowns. SnoreGuard available right now as well. And if you tell them you heard about it on ESPN Radio at Valley Family Dental, they give you $300 off a SnoreGuard. That's Valley Family Dental, 226-3500, valleyfamilydentalpractice.com. Batter up with Bubba Carpenter. We're going to move over to baseball for just a moment. Halftime back after this.
The referee looks at his watch, and that's halftime.
This is halftime. This is the Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
And some teams have conference games all the way down the stretch, and then others. Horn?
I think that's in the background there at the flag.
Okay.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to the NHL and UFC, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Fan. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, full deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Le dije, vamos a hacer maldades. Vuelvo yo te traje. Pago ya el mahones si no baila pa' que sale. Aquí están mis anormales. Tú mueves ese nalga. Esto es pa' las nenas nuevas, pa' los nenes, pa' la tía.
It's back, the Ultimate Challenge at Lewis Automotive, and it's bigger than ever. We're on a mission to sell 555 vehicles in the month of March, no matter what it takes. We've got more than 1,000 vehicles to choose from, more than $2 million in discounts, and we're not holding anything back. All month long, get up to $20,000 off MSRP or 0% financing on select models.
Payments start at $199 a month.
Find the ultimate selection, the ultimate discounts, the ultimate financing, and the ultimate amount for your trade.
Only at the Lewis Automotive Group's Ultimate Challenge.
Thanks for watching.
Up to $10,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off. Or lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer EV. With hands-free driving assistance, go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds for as low as $800 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Talking to some rich folk that you know. You won't see me in my red. Never be alone. Take me down, headed through the I know you figure the
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
It's travel day for Arkansas baseball, headed out to Nashville, Tennessee. I've already staked out territory in the Music City. Got Vanderbilt coming up Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and it's coming after a head-scratching loss Tuesday to Missouri State. So we'll go to our Lewis Automotive Group hotline, where it is time for Batter Up with Bubba Carpenter.
It's time to Batter Up with Bubba, featuring Bubba Carpenter.
Bubba Carpenter hits a two-run shot there that cuts the Phillies' lead to 1.
Brought to you by Sterling Bank, local friendly banking made to fit you. Visit your local branch in Fayetteville, Rogers, or Bentonville to discover the Sterling difference.
Batter up.
That one is way back, and that ball is out of here.
That's awesome right there.
Bubba, happy Thursday, happy Sweet 16 day, and happy Major League Opening Day. How you doing?
Doing great, fellas. How about you guys?
Doing really good, really good. It's a nice day here in Nashville. The guys will be, I guess they're probably traveling sometime soon. What do you make of Tuesday? Something you can just kind of get right past. It's just not all losses are the same. There are some games where you just get outplayed. There's some games where you hand one to a team on a silver platter, and then there's games where you lead by 5 in the 9th inning and lose in 10.
You know, Phil, if we go and take the series in Vandy this weekend, everyone will forget about Tuesday. If we lose the series, then people are going to be going back to Tuesday saying that's where it all started. So, but we all talk about the 9th inning, losing it, giving up 5 runs. I look at earlier in the game, Phil, and you and I talked about on the broadcast, like the first inning, Walker, or second inning, I think. You walk a leadoff guy, he goes to second on a dirt ball read, steals third, scores on a pass ball. Fisher strikes out the side, but still gives up a run. And then you look at the ball that came in from right, got past the third baseman, Frazier. Goes in the dugout, another run scored. Giving up a few little simple runs like that, if those weren't there, then we're maybe never in that 9th inning situation, and it's a different ball game. But who knows? It's crazy on Tuesday night, and I think the key is just don't read too much into it.
Yeah, that's the best way to look at it too. But when I think of this Arkansas baseball team right now, I think of a team that has been fundamentally sound in the ability to throw strikes, not give a lot of added bases for opponents in terms of either pass balls, wild pitches, errors, or just misplays in the field. Every opponent that they've played has had to earn their way on base and then earn their way to score a run. It's usually the Razorbacks that are taking advantage of opponents' mistakes. So that's the thing I took away from Tuesday, and why I'd like to think it's more fluky than anything else, because that was the least fundamentally sound game they played this year.
Yeah, you're right. The scorebook, the box score shows 2 errors, but if you really break it down, there were more mistakes than just 2 made. There were little things that don't show up in the box scores, mistakes that were made that kind of came back to haunt us. But, hopefully we put it all behind us, go on to Vandy, and I saw a stat Matt Jones was talking about. We haven't won a series in Vandy in 15 years. Is that true?
Yeah, I'd actually mentioned it during the post-game show on Tuesday night. I'm just not sure if you might have been listening at that point. 2010 is the last time Arkansas has won a series at Vanderbilt, and this is one of those ballparks where it's like they tailor the team to the field. Baseball is one of those sports where you can tailor your team to the confines in which you play, and it's a small field, and it's a fast track, just a really fast field. It's all artificial, and then there's just kind of the way that Vanderbilt plays, and I think more than anything about Vanderbilt, they try to be a team that gets in an opponent's head, that annoys them, and I'll tell you what, it works on me. I hope it doesn't work on the team this weekend.
Yeah, well, you have to deal with a whistler, so that's enough to get in your head. But Yeah, I don't know how much that affects the guys, but they definitely, Vandy's a team. I look at them similar to Kentucky. They play better at home. I think their team is well suited for the turf they play on. If you look at their numbers, Phil, they're not a heavy hit team. They're hit 284 as a team. They've only hit 22 home runs. I mean, we've hit 57. They have stolen 43 out of 47 bases, but in SEC play, they're just 1 for 1 in SEC play. They're not stealing bases in SEC play. So, but on the pitching side of it, if you look at their opponents' batting average against, they're at 188, and they're leading the nation and with a 188 opposing batting average against them. So they can definitely pitch. And so that's going to be a big challenge for us. But, I look at all those numbers that the pitchers have, all the strikeouts. I mean, they've struck out 294 batters as a team. We've struck out 256, which is still a great number, but there's a ton of strikeouts there. But I look at it and say, okay, yeah, they've got a lot of strikeouts. They're not giving up a lot of hits per inning, but they haven't faced a Razorback lineup that's actually leading the conference in hitting. If you look at just SEC play only, and when's the last time we've been able to say that?
Man, I mean, you have to go back to 18 and 19 probably, or maybe 2021 had a pretty good lineup too. But I put this one so far. I mean, they've scored 10 runs or more in 5 straight games. It's been 7 of 8 games that they've scored 10 runs or more. Those are games you're supposed to win. And offensively, I don't think anybody knew what to expect coming into the season this year, just because it's a group of new hitters. But there was a feeling that the pitching staff would be what would lead the team, and it's actually the other way around. It's an offensively led ball club that's pitching well enough. What do you make right now of what's going on with the Arkansas pitching staff? You got a couple of starters that looked good last weekend. Gackle needs to get it going, and then I wonder what you think about the back of the bullpen right now.
Well, I tell you what, if you just look at the starters, Phil, I think Vital Cheese, I think Root, they both looked way better last weekend. I thought Root was awesome. Had that breaking ball going, had all 4 pitches going really. And Gabe Gackle, I still go back to that one play that would have ended the inning in the second inning. The ground ball to short that Baheba threw it to second base instead of throwing it to first. I think if he throws the first and gets the out, Gabe gets out of that inning, and it looked like to me he was starting to throw better pitches. And I've said this a couple times already. I still feel like Gabe got squeezed a little bit. Gackle was throwing pitches on the inside corner to righties. He wasn't getting any of the calls. You and I talked about his body language on the broadcast, and you never see that out of Gackle. I mean, he's pretty even keel out there on the mound, but he was visibly frustrated with the strike zone. So hopefully you take all those things and throw them in there. And I think we're going to go out and have 3 good starts against Vandy. I really do. I think our pitchers are better than their hitters, and I think we'll go out and do well. Oh, and to the back end of the bullpen. My bad. Yeah. I didn't answer that question. I'm worried about fouls. If you look up, SEC closer, if you Googled it, it would show Christian Fouts. He just hadn't been able to get it done, and I hope it doesn't get into his head. You can't go in and hit, 6 batters in 6 innings if you're a closer. But then you look at a freshman like Carson Wiggins, he's definitely got closer stuff, and he's come in and made some really big pitches in some key situations. So, and look, we a couple years ago we probably never thought we'd be talking about Parker Coyle late innings, but Parker's come in and done a great job. You got Jimenez that can come in late. I still feel good about the back end of our bullpen. I still think we got the dudes back there to get it done. So I'm not worried yet, Phil.
All right, so it's opening day for Major League Baseball. How do you celebrate?
You know what? With everything going on with Razorback baseball, I haven't had time to process it. I know the Yankees are playing the Pirates.
No, they got the Marlins. They'll visit Pittsburgh. They'll visit Pittsburgh next week. I think they get the Brewers today. That's who it is.
Oh, I thought we opened up against the Pirates.
You're going to open up in Pittsburgh with their for their home opener. You get the Yankees and you get the Brewers at Yankee Stadium today. That's a much better team than the Pirates. That's a team that might actually beat the Yankees today.
I was hoping to get 4 easy wins to start out the season, but I haven't even been locked in. Phil, it's hard. I love Major League Baseball. Don't get me wrong. I'm a Yankee fan. I'm a baseball fan. But it's harder to watch MLB these days. I can watch college baseball all day. I don't keep up with MLB like I used to. I think the game's gone a different direction. I think players have gone a different direction. I think everything about it's different. And so, I'm a bigger. It's kind of like college football. I love college football, and I really don't watch much NFL anymore.
Well, I mean, I had the optimism of being a Pirates fan beaten out of me, so I don't pay as much attention to Major League Baseball, but I also think it's because I just don't have enough room in my brain for everything going on. You've got plenty of room in your brain for Major League Baseball, Bubba, so I just think you're just frustrated with the way it's played.
Well, it's definitely played different than it was back in the day, and I think everything about it, Phil. I'm a big hustle guy. And I want to see you hustle. I don't care if you're making $30 million a year, hustle. And when I don't see a guy hustling until it's his contract year, and then all of a sudden he decides to hustle when his contract's on the line. But those things are frustrating. I want to see those guys be a good example for the younger kids that grow up watching them as role models. And I don't see it sometimes, and so it's a little bit frustrating. But you know what we can always do is turn on a Razorback game or go to a Razorback game and see baseball played the right way, and that's what I love to do.
You want to see guys run hard to first base? I got a team that's wearing Razorback uniforms for you because they do it every single time. Yeah. Bubba, appreciate you coming on, man. Love these segments. Miss you this next weekend. Could use you with the Whistler here, but I guess I'll see you next week for the Mizzou series.
I tell you what, next time we go to Vandy, I might go and just sit by the Whistler.
That needs to be mic'd up. Well, one microphone, just yours.
Yeah.
Bubba Carpenter with
well,
us.
We'll go get them, Phil, this weekend, and appreciate you having me on. And good luck to the Hogs tonight, pulling for them, and let's have a good weekend of baseball also.
You got it. It's Bubba Carpenter. He'll be with us next Thursday as well, and he's brought to you by our friends at Sterling Bank. When it comes to banking, you deserve a pleasant and productive experience, one that puts you first. You'll find that at Sterling Bank. It is your community bank right here in Northwest Arkansas with top-notch customer service. Every transaction feels personal because they're not just your bankers, they are your friends and neighbors. It's Sterling Bank, deeply committed to the people, businesses, and organizations that make Northwest Arkansas thrive, looking for local, friendly banking to fit your needs. Sterling Bank, Fayetteville, Rogers, Bentonville, or stirbank.bank. Sterling Bank, invested in you and committed to Northwest Arkansas. You can get with us on halftime. The Lewis Automotive Group hotline is open at 877-377-6963, and we'll be back in just a moment.
We're live in San Francisco this week at the NCAA tournament. Our coverage is presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback. Sweet 16 gear available now. Mock Legal Solutions. Real advice, reasonable price. By Big Cypress Lodge. Visit big-cypress.com to plan your next Memphis getaway. By Warden Sun Plumbing in Northwest Arkansas. Serving all your plumbing needs. No marketing shenanigans. Fair pricing with a warranty above and beyond the competition throughout Arkansas.
Arkansas is headed to the Sweet 16.
Spring camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th at 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rogers, just behind Newt's. Sponsored by two of the state's largest RV dealers, Wheels RV and Moix RV. With brands you love like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina, Vibe, and Winnebago, and on-site financing available. There will be a variety of vendors and bounce house for the kids and so much more. So make plans now to attend the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th, 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway, Rogers.
New deals on last-minute holiday finds just dropped at Lowe's. Save $600 on a Whirlpool fingerprint-resistant stainless steel side-by-side refrigerator. Plus, My Lowe's Rewards members save $50 on an Allen & Roth Brighton pull-down kitchen faucet. Your choice of finishes for $79. Lowe's knows deals. Offers valid 12/12 through 12/18 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowes.com/terms for details. Subject to change.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
I want to ride my
Looking for a new ride or need a tune-up? Champion Cycling in Fort Smith has you covered. From top-of-the-line bikes like Specialized and Surly to expert repairs, apparel, and accessories, we've got everything you need to hit the trails. Stop by 5500 Mathard Road during business hours or shop anytime online at championcycling.com. Champion Cycling, helping you share in the joy of cycling.
Join us for the legendary adventure Mystery at the Forest on Saturday, April 26th. Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center invites you to share this magical evening of excitement, mystery, and fun. If you are a business or individual looking to sponsor a heartfelt organization or to buy tickets, please visit our Facebook page for more information or call our office at 479-452-2260.
When second's making a play, short's got to cover.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle. Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right cover.
It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
At the screen, you have to protect yourself.
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
Call Randy Milam in Alma or Brandon Zimmerman in Barley.
Are you tired of the overcrowded fitness centers? Would you like a fitness option where you can actually work out? Then let's hang out. The Hangout is Fort Smith's newest fitness facility. It has an 8,000 square foot gym, indoor tennis, pickleball, and basketball with more sports coming soon. The Hangout offers group and individual training in the gym and boasts 3 active tennis pros to help you grow your game. Stop in today at 5400 Gary Street or thehangoutfs.com for more information. Be a part of something different. Fitness, sports, and more. Let's hang out.
Do you have a roof problem? Looking for a solution? Paul's Roofing and Construction has your solution to your problem. Paul's Roofing and Construction offers free estimates, and they've been helping folks like you in the River Valley with unwanted roofing issues. Paul's Roofing and Construction, big or small, are here to solve all your roofing needs. Locally owned since 2015. Call 479-414-5753 or go to hallsroofingandconstruction.com. Solving roof problems one roof at a time.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. This is the best time of year to save on a great selection of road-ready certified used cars with warranty. Plus, act now and take advantage of $1,000 cash your way on select inventory for even more savings. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook for fun-free contests and money-saving specials. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources in the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Got the kids here in Nashville with me. It's spring break. Some people go to the beach. Some people go to the mountains. Some will go skiing. Some end up at the lake. And then some drag their kids to an SEC town for a baseball series. And the kids are pretty happy about that, too. They're road trip warriors, Matt. These are good road trip kids. They've been on longer road trips than I've ever been before. They were driven to Edmonton, Alberta in 2019 and then driven back less than 2 years later. They've made trips with me from Arkansas to Pittsburgh and back to Michigan and back. A lot of those times, though, those were trips where they were a lot younger. they talk now. They they have opinions on things. They want to go see things. They have opinions on what it is that they want to eat. And when they're 12 and 15, there's going to be some interesting interactions between the two as well. And so I'm sharing a bed with my son. We don't have a choice in this matter. Not going to force his sister to share a bed with him at 15 and 12. Now, the kid it's about a 5-hour drive from my house to Nashville. He spent 5 hours in the car just basically farting the whole time. I mean, it was incessant. It was continuous. I don't think I've ever spent that much time with the windows open in the car on the interstate. I don't even like driving with the windows open in town, but we had to do it on the interstate. Heck, we had 4 windows and the sunroof open because it smelled so bad back there. So I'm actually considering tonight sleeping on the floor in the other room away from him because I made him face the other direction last night in bed.
$90 of baseball stadium groceries. That's that's concessions. That's what that smelled like.
You know what that is, Matt? That was Friday that he spent the $90 at the Razorback baseball.
It takes
still
3
probably,
days to process.
Yeah,
that's right.
Absolutely. It's still left over from them, from all those ago. So what do we do about tonight at the Predators game? Like this kid.
At 12, though, you can eat anything and everything all day, every day. Like, you ready to eat? Yep, let's go eat.
Well, what would be the hockey equivalent of eating for the cycle in baseball? If you're eating, if eating for the cycle in baseball, and we had Hog Noxious on before and my friend Jack, they've both eaten for the cycle, different cycles, I think. And that's one thing every inning. What would be eating the hat trick? I mean, it's like it would be a hockey hat trick, eating something in a hat every single period. And I'm going to guarantee you, they sell something in a hockey helmet at the Predators game. If we were the Yankee game, they sell tiramisu in a Yankee helmet now at Yankee games. So what can you get inside the hockey helmet at the Nashville Predators game today? Just a whole bunch of nacho cheese. That'd be great. This is going to be a great night. And then at 9:15, now I don't know anything about these teams, the Predators and the Blues. I looked at the standings. Nashville's no good this year. The Blues are kind of like on the periphery of the playoff race. I don't know any player on either of these teams.
St. Louis Blue, right?
Yeah, but I don't think he's played for a good long while.
Yeah, but that's where my knowledge goes. The Brett Hull was a G.
This is going to be weird because I usually at least have some understanding of the two teams that I'm about to watch. I haven't been to an NBA game in a long time. Any Major League Baseball game I've gone to, any college football game, college basketball, you know what's going on. And I'm somebody who kind of craves information on these teams. But I'm just going to walk in to Bridgestone Arena tonight and just be blissfully ignorant on anything involving those two teams and just enjoy the speed of the sport because there's nothing quite as fast as hockey. But once 9:15 rolls around, like I'm not going to care too much about what's going on with the hockey game right in front of me. Hopefully by then, it's the middle of the third period. The Predators are up like 7-2. Their fans are looking to beat the traffic and go home or go celebrate wherever on Broadway. And then we can just kind of settle in, forget about the game that's right there in front of us, and watch the Sweet 16 on a phone. Because that's how I think I'm going to be watching it. And then we'll worry about Vanderbilt. Hog Wild wants to know best family road trip flick. What would be the best? I mean, the first one I think of is Vacation. And then the next one he put up is the one I would think of, too, which is Little Miss Sunshine. I mean, which other movies even qualify here? There's Vacation, and then there's Little Miss Sunshine, and I can't think of another one. If we're talking about a family road trip, because none of the, road trip movies from 20 years ago would classify as a family movie. And truthfully, Little Miss Sunshine, are we just talking about a family in the car? Because I don't know if I'd qualify the movie where the grandfather was snorting coke as a family movie. It just was a family in the car at the same time. It's about right. But mine would be National Lampoon's Vacation. Has to be.
You know, Plane, Trains, Automobiles, Due Date. There's a Robert Downey Jr. It's Juliette Lewis.
And then Jeff says Final Destination. But that's a frightening thought. We're at our final destination for the trip. and we're going to turn around. We'll get back home Sunday night. We'll still be alive. 877-377-6963 is our number for halftime for calls and texts on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Few days left to get the delicious specials at Fish City Grill in Rogers. Still have the chicken sandwich right now. Goat cheese, arugula, tomato, pesto, served with fries, blackened Texas redfish, Gulf shrimp, and crab meat butter. If you haven't had it, get over there. Just a few days left. It's layered on creamy Parmesan rice, served with sautéed green beans, and they've had crawfish all month long. Fish City Grill, South Bellevue Road, Rogers, 479-636-8833. Quick break. Wrap up the second hour of halftime after this.
She's a peacock. You got to let her fly, man. Or your girl, Fat Amy in Pitch Perfect. It's like she's a free-range pony. You got to let her go, man. Let her neigh.
This is halftime.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today and see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit can save you up to $500 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Metal Mart offers high-quality prefabricated metal buildings, metal roofing, custom trim shop, carports, and more. They strive to be a company where contractors as well as do-it-yourselfers are welcome. Metal Mart assists you in calculating the materials needed to complete your project, all at a rate you can afford. Stop by 7320 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith or call 648-3342. You can also catch them online at metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a store card. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions, on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Superior Siding and Windows have been improving homes in Fort Smith and the River Valley for over 44 years. Whether your need is siding, vinyl windows, doors, or gutters, Superior Siding is the one to call if you want it done right the first time. Call 479-646-7888 for a free estimate. 100% financing is available, and Superior Siding has AAA rating with Better Business Bureau. Superior Siding, your first call, 479-646-7888.
Ready to explore beyond the beaten path? Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little Rock. Experience handcrafted luxury with the capability to take on any adventure. The elegant Range Rover offers unmatched performance and first-class luxury. The Range Rover is built for every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
No one's going through the back door in terms of the NCAA tournament. In fact, in terms of Coach K, he thinks the Razorbacks were the star last weekend.
I've really thought that the team that was the star team of the weekend was Arkansas because of who they had to beat. Kansas and St. John's. And in doing that, they had to beat John Calipari, had to go against Bill Self, who's as good as there is, and Rick Pitino, who is also that good. And what an amazing Providence got some really good basketball up there this weekend. Hats off to John Calipari.
No, there's some drama going on the other side of the bracket from Arkansas right now, Matt, because the Maryland Terps, it looks like they are going to be looking for a new head coach. There are reports that Maryland head coach Kevin Willard is going to be leaving for Villanova once their run is done. And when you're listening to Kevin Willard over these last few days, I know he's been talking about advocating for his program and everything, but it also just sounded like somebody that was headed out the door, and I think he will be. So I think he's talking with his players about that now. He's told his players, according to one of the sites, that he may be taking that job.
Kind of maybe they played inspired for their coach, kind of like, was that Manise? They have Will Wade told his players that this year that he was leaving?
He sure did. It's just, like, that's the thing. And I'd seen where Norlander yesterday is talking about how the quote-unquote mid-majors could end up having an advantage on schools that have football if the mid-major doesn't have football. Here's the thing, though. The Big East is not mid-major basketball. That's a power-level basketball league. UConn, Villanova, St. John's, these are not mid-major programs. They're going to put it into basketball. And it's like, look, if you want to be a basketball coach at a basketball school, well, they got a league for you right then and there where you don't have to worry about competing for funds from football. And in Maryland, look, they're putting money towards football. Well, why wouldn't they? They're in the Big Ten. 877-377-6963 is our number for the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Brett Dolan about 20 minutes from now. We'll come right back. Top of the hour. Lots to get to in 60 minutes.
Spring has arrived, bringing warmer days, road trips, and unpredictable spring showers. That's why it's the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart. From top quality tires to expert service at competitive prices, we'll make sure your vehicle is ready for all your spring adventures. Visit our Fort Smith location at 9700 Highway 271 and let us prepare your ride for whatever the season brings. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. Southern Tire Mart, we keep America rolling.
Doctors, nurses, and other medical professionals are just people. They've got their lives and families same as you and me. But what happens when big hospitals and insurance companies ask too much of them and make them work too many hours without enough help? You can only stretch something so far before it breaks and people get hurt or even die. That's where I come in. If the healthcare system in our area has hurt you or someone you love, call me. Together, let's make them do healthcare better. I'm Phil Votaw. You've never met a lawyer like me.
Forsgren is hiring immediately. Forsgren Incorporated, a heritage company and premier employer, is now hiring equipment operators, pipe layers, concrete finishers, and laborers. Have experience in any of these areas? Apply now at goforsgren.com. Don't delay. Forsgren is hiring now at goforsgren.com. Don't miss your opportunity to join the Forsgren legacy. Forsgren has immediate openings for equipment operators, pipe layers, concrete finishers, and laborers. Apply now at goforsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing, and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren. Before you buy that next car or truck, stop by Broadway Motors in Van Buren. The best of the best for 2 straight years. Michael and his team offer the best prices on the best quality pre-owned vehicles in the River Valley. They invite you to stop by and check it out for yourself. Or if you prefer to check out their inventory online or even do your financing online. Michael has built his reputation as a husband, father, and owner-operator since 2006. Broadway Motors, 806 Broadway in Van Buren, or online at BroadwayMotorsAR.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny skies, a slim chance of a shower across the north early. Our highs will be into the lower 80s. Tonight, expecting a partly to mostly cloudy sky. Overnight lows will drop down into the upper 50s. We could see a few isolated showers on Friday. Highs on Friday afternoon into the low 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today. You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
Good morning, gentlemen. I'd like to take an opportunity. Go blow the whistle.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it. If I'm all right. What can you say doing it? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field. Phil said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head.
The angles were so bad we showed them at halftime.
But they were one Razorback.
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
And we welcome you back in. Halftime continues on this Sweet 16 Thursday, 8 hours and 14 minutes away from tip-off on this very station you're listening to. 8:30 is airtime for Chuck and Zim for the Learfield pregame show. Of course, this is the second game of the session. We've got Maryland and Florida that tip off at 6:39. So what do we think the possibility of actually starting the game on time is? They say 9:09. My guess is these games, it takes a little bit longer to finish them, the last 3-4 minutes if it's tight. I could see Florida pulling away from Maryland and maybe not seeing a foul fest at the end here. But if it does get to a foul fest, Chuck and Zim are going to have to vamp for a little bit. But they're pros. They'll do it, and we'll all be listening anyway.
Is there one other game you want to watch? My thought is kind of watching BYU Alabama. I haven't seen BYU play a lot this year. BYU's beat a lot of good teams. I've seen Florida play. You've seen Arizona Duke. That'd be a good one. But is there one other game that I know that you're going to a hockey game, but if there was one other game to watch, which one would be top of the list?
I'd want to watch Duke and Arizona. I'd want to watch Cooper Flagg.
The return of is it Jordan Love who played at North Carolina that plays at Arizona now?
That's right.
Not Jordan Love, but Love. Yeah.
Well, Caleb Love. That's
There we
right.
go.
I'd want to watch the guy who's supposedly the best player in the tournament.
He's
Had a
7'2"
chance to watch him
wingspan.
yet.
He's 6'8", 7'2" wingspan. When I watched him, I think I texted you. He was looking like Magic Johnson at Michigan State the very first game that they were playing, and then you got to look at who they're playing. But man, it's like there's nothing ball skills, eye-hand coordination. There's nothing the kid can't do. You can see why he's the number 1 overall pick in the draft.
In terms of tomorrow, there's Ole Miss, Michigan State, Kentucky, Tennessee, Michigan and Auburn, and Purdue versus Houston. I mean, all 4 of those games look like they should be outstanding. I'd want to watch Kentucky, Tennessee. I mean, for 2 fan bases that can't stand each other, I love it when the conference opponents face each other for a 3rd time. And it's a good thing that those 2 teams played each other twice this year, of all the history going back all these years. And, yeah, I mean, however long it's been that Kentucky's been in the Elite 8 or Final 4 under Cal, and it's Tennessee, the team that was there last. I think Tennessee will win that ball game. But tomorrow's games are really kind of riveting-looking matchups, too. And today, I think the Arkansas-Texas Tech game, that's actually, for me, it could be maybe the tightest ball game. Alabama, BYU, I think Alabama's going to win that one. I know we're not big fans of Nate Oates and everything here at Arkansas, but he's got a program that's a really well-oiled machine right now. I think they're going to get there, and I see Florida versus Arkansas in an Elite 8. We've got some text coming in here. JT says he keeps hearing all about trying to control Toppin, but he thinks three-point shooting is going to be the biggest aspect, how you can control Texas Tech's three-point shooting. If Toppin gets 22 and 12 in JT's eyes, but they've only made 6 or 9 threes, then Arkansas should be able to win the ball game. It's a team that makes an average of 10 threes per game. Now, I look at what they did in their round of 32 game, Matt. They didn't shoot threes because they just had bigger, better, stronger athletes than Drake, and they've scored 50 in the paint. But if you're Texas Tech, I think it's well understood. They're going to need to get double-digit three-pointers today.
Oh, they'll fire them up. Yeah, it's how can you extend those three-pointers instead of when they're shooting 6 inches behind the three-point line? Can you push them back 2 feet? Can you get them back a little bit deeper? Where they're not crowding so how far can you extend? And then, like I said, and you know this, Phil, you watch a lot of basketball, but with the long 3-point shots, and they're going to miss 30 of them, that's you can't give up 12 of those to be offensive boards, and they get to recycle through the offense. You want to limit them to one possession. Defensive rebounding for Arkansas has never been bigger than it's going to be here tonight.
Well, it's to the point. I think it was Nelson earlier in the show called in. And it's about that, defending the three is one aspect of it, but you can't leave your feet. If you want to put a hand in the face and then stick your butt into them and don't let them get around you with as many threes as they're going to shoot.
We're prone to fouling a 3-point. I mean, what I could count. I think 10 times we fouled a 3-point shooter in conference play. I mean, it's way too many.
Andrew points out Richard Pitino is going to be joining the Big East. They're going to have dad versus son at some point, Matt. Did that happen while son was at Minnesota? And father was at Louisville. I don't know if that had happened before. But, yeah, Richard Pitino was at New Mexico, and is now going to be the Xavier coach. So all this carousel, you remember how it all went down last year, and now it's all happening too. Yeah, Richard Pitino against Rick Pitino at some point in the Big East. I wanted to play this one spot from Cal. He's talking about Nolan and about Eddie Sutton, but it's more, for me, this is more like a view on the program thing. And this is, like, when you listen to Cal talk about Arkansas, when he took the job, like, this is somebody that gets the program.
Coach Sutton, he treated me like family. I mean, I don't know if you remember, we go to play at Arkansas. He came in my locker room. Coach Richardson, we had some great battles, but always respectful. And he knew that I was respectful to him and what he had done. This program, there was an 8 to 10 year period, maybe even longer than that, maybe a 15-year period, where they were one of 5 programs nationally. And all we're trying to do, let's stay together. Let's get our people involved. Let's make sure we honor the coaches that were here and did what they did for this program. And let's make us one of those programs that has a chance to do special things.
So the way that Cal's talking about Arkansas basketball is the way that I understood it, that I digested Arkansas basketball as a teenager growing up in a different time zone, in a different culture, but in a culture that loved college basketball. The way Cal's talking about it is the way that I always viewed Arkansas basketball. Even when I moved to Arkansas, and it was still it was after that last Sweet 16 with Nolan, but it still wasn't that far away from it, and I still understood Razorback basketball as one of the power centers of the SEC. And Matt, I mean, you're there now, but it's like back in the 90s, it was the Razorbacks and it was Kentucky.
And it was the Fab Five.
Right, but I mean, even just in the SEC, just in this league.
Well, Tony Delk, he played on that Kentucky team. Jamal Mashburn, Tennessee had a slew of players that came through. But yeah, when you talk about nationally, Arkansas, Kentucky, Indiana, maybe even still then was big time. Michigan, those were like Michigan and Arkansas were kind of in the same pot. Like they were kind of cool, had the baggy shorts, wore the long socks, and got after it. All 40 minutes, just got after it. And had talent everywhere. There was talented guys everywhere in the way they went about it. They were, you still had North Carolina and Duke as well.
Well, think of the leagues there, too, that you're bringing up. Like the Big Ten back then, I mean, that was a frontline basketball league. It is now, too, but back then it certainly was. The ACC has always been a frontline basketball league, I guess up until this year. And in the 90s, like that wasn't really what the SEC was about. It is now, along with a lot of other sports. But when Arkansas was a dominant, front-of-mind, nationally thought-of basketball program in the 90s, in the SEC, it was really just two schools. I think they were viewed that way. Now, in this SEC, it's like take your pick. And you don't have to just choose between one or the other because there's so many resources coming in terms of money that you're paying great coaches in both sports and paying really good rosters on both sports too. So, I mean, Auburn's got it going. Auburn and Alabama didn't really have things going basketball-wise in the 90s. If they did, it wasn't anything close to the way Arkansas and Kentucky did. Now you got Arkansas that's, man, they're going. This isn't just a new thing. It's just Cal's the coach. That's the new aspect of it. This is 4 Sweet 16s in 5 years. You're just missing getting to the Final Four and raising a really lengthy banner. Who knows? Maybe that happens at some point soon, too.
Who is the last team not named Kentucky, out of the SEC to win a national? Kentucky and Florida, those would be the last two teams, though, to win a national title in the SEC, huh?
I'm thinking in my mind, you're right. That's it. Florida had
Florida,
it going
the 06, 07, yeah.
Well, that was, and back then it was the SEC. What was the SEC then?
They're probably getting 6 teams in, 6, probably getting 6. We're getting double that now.
you got double that and then some. We'll still say 13 because getting into the first 4 doesn't quite count the same. Breaking them up.
One, two, Phil. Phil can't hear. We'll try to figure out what's up with Phil's mic, and then we got Brett Dolan coming up after this. So we'll hit a commercial, and then we'll be back right after this.
We're live in San Francisco this week at the NCAA tournament. Our coverage is presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback. Sweet 16 gear available now. Mock Legal Solutions. Real advice, reasonable price. By Big Cypress Lodge. Visit big-cypress.com to plan your next Memphis getaway. By Ward & Son Plumbing in Northwest Arkansas. Serving all your plumbing needs. No marketing shenanigans. Fair pricing with the warranty above and beyond the competition throughout Arkansas.
Arkansas is headed to the Sweet 16.
At center, number 35, the 6'11 junior from Slater, Missouri, Joe Fly. By
Michael Jordan, knocked down by Klein. For Arkansas, their key player, obviously, in the middle, 6'11". Joe Klein leads the team in scoring and rebounding.
Is that a better introduction for you this morning?
Can we just put that on a loop, just drive around in my car and feel special?
This is the Morning Rush, only on ESPN 95.3. ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Live on ESPN 95.3 is Colton Little, and I'm out here today at Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford, just 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Sallisaw. It's a beautiful day and an awesome chance for you to put some money in your pocket. No tricks, no gimmicks here. Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford is offering a deal right now where you can come and take a test drive, and then you can shoot on the Harry Robinson basketball hoop for up to $500 cash in your pocket. It's as simple and easy as that, simple and free. You take a test drive, and you take your shot for up to $500. We've got 3 different spots up there, varying amounts of cash that you can win at each one, and all you have to do is just come and take a test drive, and then you're eligible to shoot on that hoop and win some cash from Harry. And while you're there, why don't you find yourself the best deal possible? And the folks at Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford, they're always there to help you. One of the best finance teams and some of the best people in the business. Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Sallisaw.
810 Billiards and Bowling, we've got everything you need for a good time. Drink up, chow down, rack 'em up, and knock 'em down. In other words, be social. Join us for happy hour every day from 3 to 7. Catch the big game on our giant screens and check out the newly expanded arcade and mini golf. Oh, and don't forget to try the new double-decker burger. It's a game changer. Let the fun begin at 810 Billiards and Bowling, 5609 Rogers Avenue, Suite F in Fort Smith. See you there.
Join us for the legendary adventure Mystery at the Forest on Saturday, April 26th. Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center invites you to share this magical evening of excitement, mystery, and fun. If you are a business or individual looking to sponsor a heartfelt organization or to buy tickets, please visit our Facebook page for more information or call our office at 479-452-2260.
COP CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050, COP CDL Academy.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroof, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jasco Graphics, now 17 years in the industry. How do people see what you've made over the years, Cecil?
Google or Yahoo it or Bing it. Jasco Graphics Design, JAAZCO, Monday through Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And sometimes I'm here after. So if that open sign is on, I'm here. Y'all come on in. Jasco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jasco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Liv Moss.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Sportscaster extraordinaire Brett Dolan joining us on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline on a Sweet 16 Thursday on a Major League Baseball opening day. Brett, happy all of those things. What's new?
Yeah, no, it's an exciting day. You know, it's amazing. And they used to have opening day on the Monday of the college basketball national championship game, and now the schedule is so weird that it's been moved up a couple of weeks. But it's exciting for us. So I'm sure we'll both be catching a few games when we can around everything else that we do.
Last 3 times Arkansas was knocked out of the NCAA tournament, they were knocked out by a national champion. I don't view Texas Tech that way. And I've been told not to look at Arkansas as a favorite in this game. Maybe I should look at it as a pick 'em. I'm not trying to poo-poo Texas Tech because I think they're really good. It's just I've been so impressed with how the Razorbacks played in this tournament specifically, and then I think you got to look into the lens of how well they played at the end of the regular season and in the tournament through the lens of how good the SEC is. It's a really good basketball team, Brett. I think they'll win tonight.
I wouldn't pick against them. I don't know how to kind of evaluate Texas Tech because I just haven't seen enough of them, although we tried to follow them in the tournament and a little bit. I mean, they had a nice win, obviously, at Houston this year. They played Arizona, Iowa State, some other teams that are good teams. Houston's probably the one team they played that has a chance to get to a Final Four. And whether they beat Arkansas tonight and play Florida or whether Arkansas gets a chance to play Florida, that'll probably be the stiffest competition they played outside of Houston. They did lose to A&M this year, too. I would say this, though, Phil. I think getting back to your point, though, it kind of takes me back to a few of the practices I went to in November and December for the men's team, and we were calling a few TV games, so I'd pop in and watch it. And this was when the team was really struggling defensively. And a couple of times Cal would start practice, and he would say, when we get to a certain point, you guys will look back and wonder, why were we this bad on defense now? And they figured it out. I mean, they figured out how to defend threes. They figured out how to contest shots at the rim. And that's been the key, that and figuring out how to get guys like Boogie and maybe Thero back in and not disrupt what they've had going. But clearly defense is the way they've been able to win these games because they kind of beat St. John's at their own game as far as rebounding and contesting and taking care of baskets in the paint. I don't think they can beat Texas Tech at their own game. They're going to have to beat Texas Tech by keeping them from their own game as far as knocking down threes.
Brett, looking at some of these other games that we have tonight, and I found it interesting. You know, BYU, their coach goes to Kentucky. They're in the Sweet 16. Kentucky's coach comes to Arkansas, Coach Cal. They're all 3 of those teams having success in the Sweet 16. And I was talking with Phil a little bit earlier about this BYU-Alabama game. I think Alabama, they might be in trouble, especially if Grant Nelson is a little banged up. How are you thinking about this BYU-Alabama game?
No, I'm with you. And the one thing BYU does is score. And you've got 2 teams that score at high clips. And it seems like we've talked a lot about contrastive styles in this tournament. And obviously, I think Alabama went through one of those with St. Mary's, who like to play really slow, and they still scored 80 points. But this is a BYU team that could score in the 90s easily. I think Alabama could do the same. So it would really depend on who's best at their game scoring. But if you want to look at one that could be a 95-93 type game, I think that's probably it. And the one thing about, and I enjoyed how you kind of broke that down, Matt, talking about coaches that left. I look at teams that weren't Power 5 teams not that long ago. Houston was in the American, BYU. These teams have kind of elevated not only their programs and their games, but they're every bit contending for opportunities to get to the Elite Eight. But that's one I think I'm going to be intrigued with, along with that Duke and Arizona game, just because Duke's the only remaining ACC team left, and we'll see if they might be able to kind of hold the banner for their conference.
What do you see about Kentucky and Tennessee? I mean, that to me, it's the most intriguing matchup in this entire Sweet 16. And really, if you were just to eliminate anything going on the court, just the interaction between the fan bases would be entertaining enough.
There's no doubt. That's kind of a game within a game right there, obviously playing for a third time. And I've enjoyed watching Tennessee play this year. I'm not a gambling guy. I probably wouldn't put a ton of money on Rick Barnes' teams when they get this deep into the postseason. But I think they've got the better team. Now, whether or not they can win tonight, I don't know. But I'm with you. I think just the overall rivalry between those two teams will make it for must-see viewing.
Brett, I want to talk a little more college basketball, but first, did you see the King James so-called speech on the McAfee show, and just kind of wanted to see what you – I mean, he one of the most influential athletes of our generation, and just kind of see what – did you glean anything? Did your opinion change of LeBron James after that? What did you think of that?
Well, fill me in, because I was watching a little bit on SportsCenter, but I don't think I caught the full-length.
Yeah, just kind of his attitude and some of his comments. Just I don't know. Just seeing how they talked about his relationship with, or lack of relationship with, certain players. Just a little bit kind of taking shots at certain reporters. There's just a lot. I kind of catch it by clip on clip. I just didn't know if you hadn't seen it, then then it's all good.
Well, it's just McAfee has a way of getting people to kind of talk on a different level than maybe they would. I mean, the one thing LeBron is really good at is dealing with the media post-game, and he's got reporters at his locker, and he does the thing at the podium, and he kind of pontificates, and he probably talks more or longer than most. But that McAfee show is interesting because you get a different tier or level, whether he's kind of poking or prodding or encouraging. So I'll make a point to go back and take a peek.
I love it. So I was kind of thinking about these number one seeds, who has the biggest chance, who should be on upset alert. A lot of people are saying Auburn, that Auburn-Michigan game, that one could be upset alert. Any chance Houston-Purdue? Any chance you see Purdue getting past Houston?
No, I don't. I would probably go with that, too. I mean, I threw Michigan State out there at the beginning, and I don't know if I did that with great confidence. I just didn't feel like Auburn was playing as well as they were a couple of months ago, when I think we all believed they were a top 2 or 3 team in the country. And listen, they could be a little bit off and still be worthy of getting to a Final Four. I don't think they're worthy of winning a national championship this year. I do think Houston is kind of poised to get there and has a great chance to get through the winner of UK, Tennessee. And the only reason I think that, I think there's a lot of people that believe they would have been in the Final Four or competing for a national championship last year when they had an injury to L.J. Cryer. They are healthy. They are a dog-type team. They play extremely hard. They're not pretty to watch by any stretch, but I do think a lot of teams will not enjoy playing them if Houston keeps winning, just because of the way that they go about their business. And I think they are kind of poised to make a deep run. That was my team that I kind of threw out there in my pathetic bracket a while ago, and I probably won't sway from that. So I think Houston will be a number one team that can get through this combination of Big Ten and SEC over the next couple of days.
Yeah, I think I have 10 of my Sweet 16. So me and the unit and Phil, we did a bracket. I'm in last place right now, but I still have all 4 of my Final Four teams.
That's right.
So you still got a chance. Opening day baseball season. I saw somewhere where a lot of people think the Braves will be back, will represent the NL in the World Series. Their injuries kind of happened last year. Who's your team? Any way too early predictions on NL/AL champs this year?
I don't think that's a bad pick. I got to sneak in and catch about a day and a half of Braves spring training last week when I was visiting my son. I think there is that belief they're healthy. The Dodgers are still going to be the epicenter by which everything kind of craters around in this National League or even in Major League Baseball, because of the volume of money they spent, the caliber of players they have on this team, whether they continue to win or whether people can find a way to knock them down. I don't know if we have quite as many candidates for teams that could win the World Series, but I hope that it doesn't discourage the regular season from providing some excitement. It's kind of weird to pick a team and like LA and have everybody kind of buy into that when we're sitting here basically in mid-March. But maybe this season will have some surprises for us and some twists and turns, and there can be some worthy challengers to their World Championship.
Brett, you know how I am with baseball, and I want to have a team that I want to root for. So I'll root for the Pirates every time Paul Skeens pitches for them. But outside of that, I'm just not too sure. Used to be an Angels fan because I worked for an Angels affiliate for 14 years, and I'm still a huge Mike Trout fan. I mean, he's going to be a frontline, first ballot Hall of Famer. and the guy still has never won a playoff game, which is heartbreaking for me because the guy plays the game the right way. I saw a photo. They put a photo. The Angels actually put this photo out of Trout from his first opening day with the Angels to breaking camp, and it's 15 years in between, and it looks like all the optimism has been beaten out of him in these 15 years. He was bright and smiling and everything as a rookie, and then as a 15-year veteran who's got millions of dollars and a great family and says he's happy moving from center field to left field, he does not look optimistic, and that's what playing for the Angels will do for you.
It'll drag you down. I mean, it took Anthony Rendon and threw him off the face of the earth, and Trout, I don't know if he ever will win a playoff series or even a playoff game, Phil. It's disappointing because he had a chance to leave, and he was loyal to an organization that just kind of fell apart around him, including a guy who was even better than him for a few years before he went across town to the Dodgers. And no, I think it's a valid conversation, not just for Pirates fans or Angels fans. There are some superpowers. The Mets trying to be one of those. The Yankees have competed, but they're probably not quite at that level that some of these other teams are. And if you're Mike Trout and you're one of the greatest stars in the game and you never get to a postseason, I feel like we will be the ones robbed more so than him not getting to see him play. But he's no longer one of the top 4 or 5 best players in baseball, and he's certainly playing for a team that has had its fair share of struggle. So we need to find you a team, Phil. I don't know what we have to do to get you a team outside of every 5th day when Skeens is on the mound.
I was looking for it, so I was looking around at some rosters. Maybe you can help me out with this one. I think the Red Sox look like they could have a turnaround this year. I like the staff they've put together, and I'm actually intrigued by getting Alex Bregman. And it looks like the whole thing with, where's Devers and Bregman, who's going to be at short, who's at third, and all of that. It's just, I think that they figured that all out. I think Bregman still has some left. I may turn into a Red Sox fan. I might. I'm not buying in yet.
That's not a bad idea. And I'll tell you why, because they've got 4 or 5 incredible young prospect infielders and position players that are on the come, and they're going to be in Fenway. I think 1 or 2 may have made the team already, but if not, at some point soon. So this is an organization built to compete. I could get on board with that. Maybe we'll have to make a trip to Fenway at some point in July and August and participate.
Brent, enjoy the basketball, whatever baseball you got going today, and we'll talk next week. And we're getting ready for maybe a Final Four and baseball with Mizzou.
Boy, wouldn't that be fun? Postseason basketball and conference baseball. Look forward to it.
You got it. Brett Dolan with us each Thursday here on Halftime. We'll open our Lewis Automotive Group hotline for you right now at 877-377-6963. Been reminding you about some of these amazing deals at H&S Appliance Outlet in Hot Springs for a few weeks now. So you get the sun shining outside, got a great patio. You need some of this maybe for your outdoor kitchen entertaining, a 4-piece outdoor kitchen gas grill. You get $3,000 off this. It's $39.99 right now. Usually goes for $699.99. $39 lets you take it home right now with approved financing. It's a gas pizza oven, refrigerator, beverage center, and a sink. 4 burners, a rotisserie with infrared ceramic burners, and a side grill burner. How about a gas-powered pizza oven? H&S Appliance Outlet has Uni Coda 12 gas-powered pizza ovens. You get $250 off right now, just $149 for the Uni Coda 12 gas-powered pizza oven. How about a Maximum 46 bottle, stainless steel, dual zone cooling, built-in indoor wine cooler? Usually goes for $6.99, now $4.99 at H&S Appliance Outlet in Hot Springs. They're open 8 till 5 Tuesday through Saturday. Break, halftime into the home stretch on a Thursday after this.
We're live in San Francisco this week at the NCAA tournament. Our coverage is presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback. Sweet 16 gear available now. Mock Legal Solutions. Real advice, reasonable price. By Big Cypress Lodge. Visit big-cypress.com to plan your next Memphis getaway. By Ward & Son Plumbing in Northwest Arkansas. Serving all your plumbing needs. No marketing shenanigans. Fair pricing with a warranty above and beyond the competition throughout Arkansas.
Arkansas is headed to the Sweet 16.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Spring camping season is here. Don't miss the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th at 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway in Rogers, just behind Newt's. Sponsored by two of the state's largest RV dealers, Wheels RV and Moix RV. With brands you love like Grand Design, Jayco, Brinkley, Flagstaff, Coachman, Catalina, Vibe, and Winnebago, and on-site financing available. There will be a variety of vendors and bounce house for the kids and so much more. So make plans now to attend the NWA RV Show and Outdoor Party, April 12th and 13th, 5102 West Pauline Whitaker Parkway, Rogers.
I just don't understand why people don't turn their blinker on and just think it's okay to stop in the middle of the road.
This is halftime. ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Hey, it's Colton Little here on ESPN 95.3. Good afternoon, River Valley, and everybody in our listening area. Hey, it's Sweet 16 night. The Razorbacks are set to take on the Texas Tech Red Raiders this evening on TBS, and you can watch the Razorbacks stay hot and hopefully dispatch of those pesky Red Raiders. But if you're looking to stay hot right now, you can come over to Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford because the Harry Robinson Hoop is hot right now. They have a deal going on during the Markdown Madness sale. It's a test drive initiative. You come and you take a test drive, and then you get a chance to shoot on the Harry Robinson Hoop for up to $500 cash in your pocket. No tricks, no gimmicks, simple and free. Drive to Harry Robinson. Come take a test. One of their awesome F-150s. They have $15,000 off on those right now. Take a test drive, shoot your shot, walk away with cash in your pocket. You can do that here at Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Are you a middle-aged man feeling low on energy, struggling with weight gain, a decreased libido, or even battling depression? You don't have to feel this way any longer. Hi, this is Stephen Pittman, a licensed nurse practitioner and expert on testosterone replacement therapy. At Pittman TRT in Fort Smith, our priority is to restore your vitality and energy the way you felt in your 20s. No need to drive an hour or more. Call or text Pittman TRT today at 479-274-1747. That's 479-274-1747. Pittman TRT. Get back to feeling like your old self again.
Remodeling your bathroom? Don't let your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South Zero, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
Come see Cody and the gang at Advanced Mechanical Performance. You can find him at 3201 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith. Need repair or service for your ATV or UTV? Advanced Mechanical Performance can do it all, as well as taking care of all of your power sports parts accessory needs. Give him a call today at 434-4161. That's 434-4161. Or stop by 3201 Wheeler Avenue. Advanced Mechanical Performance. It's what you should be striving for.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Seems this world got you down. You're feeling bad about me so grand. Open your eyes, girl. Look at me. Look, I wanna show you how you feel. Yeah, your world don't seem just right. And the life's getting you upside. You can't change that wrong to right. Wrong to right. Last night, last thing.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
JT texted on our Lewis Automotive Group hotline, Matt. He thinks I need a drug test because I think the Red Sox are going to do better than last year. He's a giant Red Sox fan, and he says the ownership's not going to let them compete. They actually put a good pitching staff together. I think you don't want to know the drugs I'm on either, JT, but I think the Sox they'll be better than you think.
Yeah, COVID's scared of Phil.
Very much so. 877-377-6963 to get on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Let's go to Brent in Searcy. Brent, what's up?
What's up, Phil? You're not headed to Nashville yet?
I'm already in Nashville. I got here last night.
Oh, you're in Nashville. Okay, let's go Razorbacks tomorrow night, right?
That's right. We're going to go watch hockey tonight and the Sweet 16 game.
Who's playing in Nashville?
Well, I'm not watching basketball here. I'm just watching. I'm going to an NHL game, and we'll be watching Sweet 16 at the same time.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. I've never been to a hockey game. They look like a lot of fun to go to.
I think you'd enjoy it. It's the fastest sport on earth.
Okay. I'm just ready for this game tonight. I'm ready for us to go take care of Texas Tech Red Raiders. Gerald Myers ain't coming through that door for Texas Tech. Their famous coach. He's not coming through that door. Bubba Jennings, another Darwin Ham, they're not coming through that door either. So let's go Razorback.
Hey, none of those guys are coming through the door, but this is who they're sending through the door is a pretty good team and a coach that's built a good program. Yeah, it's a good Texas Tech club. I mean, are they better than St. John's? Are they better than Kansas? Well, they had a better record than Kansas did. Playing I would say, a stronger league than St. John's. St. John's the champion of that league, though. But, Matt, as far as I'm concerned, Brent, I know the Hogs are an underdog. I think it's more of a pick'em in my eyes.
I do, too. I think it's a pick'em game myself.
Mm-hmm. Brent, good to hear from you, man. You got anything else?
Have they named the pitching rotation for this weekend?
I don't know if they've officially come out, but I know Dave said at his presser yesterday, no changes. So you'll have Root tomorrow, Gackle Saturday, Bidleshee Sunday. There's no surprise there, but if Gackle has a subpar performance, I think in the Missouri series, that would be the right time that if there's going to be a change, to make the change. And I think it would be Gackle coming out of the pen more maybe in a third or fourth inning. And the guy to look at who may step into a role as a starter then would be Aiden Jimenez. He's looked really good. He's gone longer, I think, than anybody expected for someone that had the elbow surgery last year. And another aspect that I know might help them think he's past that was last week on Friday, he got up in the pen, got hot, and every time that he gets hot, meaning he's warmed up in the pen, they use him because he was hurt last year. Well, they sat him down, used him the next day, and he was really effective. So I think Aiden Jimenez would be the guy that they'd look to if there's an issue in the rotation. Good to hear from you, Brent. Thanks very much. 877-377-6963 for the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. John is next. He's in Springdale. John, thanks for calling. How are you?
Hey, doing great, guys. It's a beautiful day here in Northwest Arkansas. I was going to tell you that I went to a fight one time and a hockey game broke out. Now, that's a true story.
Well, I don't know if it's quite the same as it used to be, but I saw some of the first hockey game I ever went to, John. I think I was 9. Well, I mean, we're talking blood on the ice. This was the 80s. I don't think it's quite like that now.
No. And I tell you, the most gruesome thing I've ever seen in a hockey game, and I'm sure you all remember this, is the dude that got his throat slit with one of the skates, and I thought, wow, that's just awful.
Not only do I remember it, but I remember the name of the goalie that it happened to. It was Clint Malarchuk. I'll never forget it. It's one of the worst-looking photos I've ever laid my eyes on.
Man alive. and I'm a retired paramedic and emergency room department nurse, so I've seen some stuff, but that was pretty horrid.
Yeah.
Anyway, the reason I'm calling today is about the game tonight, and I've got a 14-year-old, and it's spring break, so the dad tab's really been rolling, so I haven't been able to look and see the strengths, weaknesses, kind of scout out this Texas Tech team, and I was hoping I could just get you guys' overall impression of their team and how you think Arkansas will match up defensively, offensively, maybe some players to look out for, and I'd really appreciate it. Maybe get me caught up and so I can enjoy the game tonight. And I appreciate your time. You have a great day.
Thanks, John. Yeah, very good. They're a really good three-point shooting team. There's 6 guys that can hit from the outside. If Chance McMillan is healthy, there'd be 6. That's an if. He has sat for the last 2 games against Wilmington and Drake because of an injury, and we're not sure if he's going to play or not. I think it's kind of the same thing with the dude Thero. Though if McMillan does play, I think he'd get more minutes than Thero if he does. But Matt, they're not a team that can compete in terms of length with Arkansas, but where Tech will have an edge is in they just have a team that can shoot from the outside, and JT Toppin can be a dominant player.
Yeah, they're a complete team. They kind of remind me a little bit of an Ole Miss. If they played in the SEC, they would have probably been 4th, 5th place. I would have had them in the top half of the bracket. I'm looking back at their game against Arizona. I mean, they shot 28 3-pointers. They're gonna let it fly. Toppin, 4 of 13 that game, had 11.6 boards. If you can do something like that, Arizona was able to beat Texas Tech. I think you let Toppin get up to where he's 25 points and he's feeling. And the other thing too, Phil, when you're a teammate of his and you see him struggling, you either elevate your game or you shrink too. So it's kind of one of those deals. I think you really do have to take care. You have to understand where he is, what he likes to do, what his tendencies are. And he's a walking double-double as soon as he gets off the bus. We're going to have our hands full tonight, no question about it.
John, appreciate your phone call. Thanks very much. Enjoy the game. And now Eduardo will rally us towards victory tonight. Good afternoon, Eddie. How are you?
How you doing today, sir? This is the other Eddie.
This is a different
I'm headed down
Eduardo.
to Beaver Lake.
We'll call you
Yeah,
Eduardo,
this is-
though.
Okay, the second or first or last or something. I'm headed out to Beaver Lake to try the crappie right now, but I'll have to get on to you, Phil. You've almost touched that money talking about the Final Four earlier.
Which one? About the Final Four? Like even mentioning it?
Yeah, you said something the other day about not touching that money, and I've been on my wife and her sisters about not touching the money, looking ahead. So we got.
Well, I do think it's a team that can contend for the Final Four. But I'm watching them for the first 2 games in this tournament. I really do. And I think if you've watched them, then you'd agree. That's not to say that they'll get there. I just to me, it looks like a team that can play well enough to get there.
Yeah, I think they can, and I think they'll do a good job tonight, and hopefully they'll move on. And that's all I got to say. Appreciate the show and enjoy listening to you guys.
Thanks, Eddie. It's very good. I thought I was going to have him drop in like a little woo there. That might have helped. Yeah, it could have helped a little bit. The one thing that's been lacking from Arkansas for these first 2 games that they're going to need tonight is your 3-point shooters have to be able to connect. You can't just be a zero from the outside. If I know I've looked through the numbers before. Trevin Brazil, he has been outstanding from the outside in this resurgence. And Boogie, I don't know if I'd heard he was like a great outside shooter and everything, and I'm not sure if I believe it right now, but I know that he's better than what the numbers have shown in these first 2 games. I don't think Arkansas wins the game by knocking down shots from the outside, but they stay in it by scoring from the outside. They're going to have to. They'll get to the rim. They're also going to need to hit from the outside, and defending that 3 is going to be huge.
No question. Maybe get to the foul stripe 30 times. Maybe, if we can shoot at least 30 free throws, that kind of negates the 3-point differential that's going to happen. But I think we do have to make at least half. However many Texas Tech threes they make, we got to make at least half. We rebounding's never been bigger than tonight.
Last phone call is Dawn in Fort Smith. Hey, Dawn, what's up?
Hey, I, as a huge hockey fan, I have watched a lot of hockey while watching hockey on my phone while watching the Razorbacks play. So it can be done, and especially since I'm a Buffalo fan, I definitely remember the young man who got his throat cut.
Yeah, I
'cause he
remember
was
when it
Sabres.
happened. Yeah.
And it was devastating. And I still don't understand after last year when we had a junior that ended up having his throat cut and dying. I can't understand why more players aren't wearing neck guards, but that's besides the point. I think the Razorbacks are going to match up wonderfully tonight, and I think they're going to win. And I take back every bad thing I ever said about Calipari. I admit it. I didn't want him here, and I'm eating my words. So
But
that's
the
all I
words
had
taste,
to say.
Your words taste just fine, don't they, Dawn? Eating
They do. I am actually glad that I am wrong, and I love my Hogs, and I especially love the Calipari family. Watching her cry during the game the other night just was seeing the sheer joy on her face was pretty amazing, and watching them refine their love for coaching and everything, I think has been fantastic, and it's been great for Arkansas too.
Dawn, thanks for calling. Really appreciate you doing that. All right, we got a break here in a moment. Want to thank the Stadium Shop helping sponsor our Sweet 16 coverage. They've got all the Sweet 16 merchandise. They're going to have the Elite Eight and Final Four merchandise. Just make sure you get wins in order to wear them. Locally owned and operated by a family of U of A alumni, Robert, Elizabeth, and Matt, with the largest selection of Razorback merchandise south of the North Pole. Won't find any place more Razorback than the Stadium Shop. They're online at shoponrazorback.com. We'll break and wrap things up in just a moment.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
ESPN 95.3 here. I'm Colton Little. I'm going to get you back to Matt and Phil on halftime in just a second as they wrap it up. Just want to tell you about the awesome things they have happening right now today during Markdown Madness at Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford. They go up to $15,000 off right now on select F-150s. They also have an initiative going on where you can come up and take a test drive and then shoot a hoop on Harry Robinson's hoop for up to $500 cash. It's Markdown Madness happening right now at Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford. They've got big discounts all across the lot, and if you're looking for a great deal and the best customer service in the business, you'll always find it at Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford. If you got a little extra money in your pocket right now because of that tax return, come spend it with Harry and maximize those matching down payments they have right now at Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford. 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Sallisaw, it's Harry Robinson Sallisaw Ford.
Attention Arkansas, Oklahoma gas customers. Could you benefit from payment assistance on your natural gas bill? If you have a past due balance, help us here. Through the Summit Heating Assistance Fund, qualified customers can receive up to $200 toward their natural gas bill this heating season or until funds run out. Apply today. Visit AOGC.com/SHAF or email shaf@unitedwayfortsmith.org for more information.
Come get you some. 2728 Townsend Avenue is your off-road and performance center headquarters. They've got everything from lift kits, wheels, LED light bars, UTV parts and accessories, winches and tires. Need general 4x4 repair? No problem. Come get you some has one of the largest 4x4 shops in the States. They do it all, from installing a bug shield to building some of the baddest off-road machines in the country. Call them today at 782-6833. That's 782-MUD. Or check them out online at cgysoffroad.com. Come get you some.
Ty Richardson, we're live here at First Financial Mortgage. I'm here with my friend Ethan Adamson. Ethan, I know I probably texted you 100 times during this process, man. I didn't know what I was doing. Luckily, you did.
Yeah, Ty. It was always great working with you. Glad we could help you get closed. A good loan officer is someone who can answer questions after hours, before hours, and be available when you're needed. We get pre-qualifications in, get buyers pre-qualified so they can search for homes and get them closed quick. Call 479-782-9300. Weekdays 8 to 5. FFB1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
Happy New Year from Sharp Equipment. Come on over to the new Sharp Equipment today and explore what all Sharp has to offer. From our latest offers and deals as a Wacker Neuson dealer to customized hydraulic and industrial hoses, equipment repairs, and as a Cinnabogan authorized service provider, we're able to offer even more. Stop in to check out the new location at 5608 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith, or give us a call at 479-649-0500 to see how at Sharp Equipment we help you move more than just the world. We help you move forward. Sharp Equipment, your Wacker Neuson dealer.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Jim. They have several locations in the Arkansas area, but I specifically want to talk to you about Jim Mart number 10. Great deli. My goodness. Great lunch, great dinner. But have you had the breakfast yet? It's the best in town. And they have that convenient drive-through window. So when you're heading north or south on 540, take exit number 6 for Jim Mart number 10. 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith. Jim, the leading gas station and convenience store in the area.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, the ultimate challenge is back with the ultimate selection, ultimate savings, ultimate financing, and the ultimate amount for your trade.
You want to do is all right with me.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Matt, there's kind of a funny record that's going to be tied today when San Francisco opens up the Major League season in Cincinnati with a new left fielder. His name is Heliot Ramos. It'll be 19 consecutive years that the Giants have a different starting left fielder since some guy named Barry Bonds started out there. There hasn't been, what did I see here? The note is you'd have to go back to the 1937 through 1955 St. Louis Browns to look at any position on the field outside a pitcher where a team has had 19 consecutive different starting players at that position. So lose Barry Bonds, go find yourself a new left fielder every single year. All right, game tonight, 9:15. I say Arkansas wins. I'm going to go with pretty much like the same prediction of the final score that I predicted for St. John's, and I was pretty close. I'll go 78-73. Arkansas wins this ball game tonight.
Ooh, I was 79-78, I think, on the St. John's. Then the other one, I was 69-68. No, it was Kansas then St. John's. Sorry. I'll do, Hogs 79, the Red Raiders 78.
That will be a nail biter. That will be a game.
And we're keeping it under 80.
Midnight.
That's right.
That's right. And we'll be peeling the corners out of our eyes in the morning when we reconvene to talk about this. Ruskin and Zach will take you the rest of the way. Again, it is an 8:30 Learfield pregame and our Eastside Liquor halftime podcast to be ready to go in just a few moments. Thanks to the one and only C Maverick. And for my partner, Matt Jones, and for C Maverick, I'm Phil. Have a great rest of your day. Go Hogs as well, and get up, get out, and get better.